Here we are. What's good? It's Wednesday.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, I want to do more of this.
My gosh.
There he is. There he is.
Zax, you're killing. You're killing me right now. I'm over here like, oh, I'm gonna take my glasses off and clean
no
up.
way.
And then I look up and it's just me. Look how red I am right now. Oh,
I thought I added myself and I removed myself. You know how it goes.
Oh my god, that was great.
As this has been said about me before, and so you guys are all aware in the chat. I know, Josh, you know very well that it's been said better by someone else.
Like Zax he doesn't treat me nice. Zax, you're not a good podcaster. You don't know how to conduct interviews at all. You're a 45-year-old man, and I pray for your family.
So,
yeah, look, you treat me real nice. So,
what?
Look, I gotta give you the benefit of the doubt because that intro it's distracting. Even for a man of my virtues, it is distracting.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you, Josh, and I appreciate one of our special guests for tonight, Nickweiser. What's up?
What's up, dude? How you doing, Zax? Nice to see you, and nice to see Jotha as well. Happy to see you, gentlemen. Hello to our chat.
Hello.
We got to talk comic movies tonight. I have not been really touching on those. I thought I have to reach on my bag of tricks. Who can I pull out who can explain this shit to me as a 45-year-old man with a family, who's a terrible podcaster? And so I got Leon Idlelook to come in and fill that hole. Thanks, Leon.
I am so great at filling holes, but I feel like Josh and I should have a competition as to who is better at filling holes.
Vegas, baby.
Well, you got three men to help you. If we can't collectively as one fill the hole, there's a serious problem. And I don't know if that's about the hole or about us. You decide.
What a great group. So yes, comic book movies are. We've got. We have the perfect crew for that tonight. We got so much in the news with this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it is okay. I'm hopeful about some of it, but let's say hi to some people in the chat first before we get too deep, super deep into this phrasing. Actually, yes, thank you, Emperor. I know phrasing. Whoa, already I got this. CFH95 gifted members. Thank you. CFH90 just coming over from the Return of the Jedi show where I gave it a 10. I know CFH gave it a 10. Leon gave it a 10. And what did Badger give it?
Badger gave it an 8.
Oof.
So he's Cowboys from Hell 1990.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it stands for, because that was the year the album was
Pantera?
released from Pantera. That was the first album when they went to their 90s phase, unlike when they originally glam Terra.
Have you listened to their glam terror? I actually like it. I won't lie.
Freaking awesome. So
Dude,
good.
my favorite guitar, what caused me to give up music for a long time was my guitar was a replica Dimebag Darrell ML Black Bolt, dude. I love that bitch. My car got broken into after the show and got stolen. I quit playing music for like 5 years after that.
I met Phil Anselmo outside a parking lot in Baltimore when he was playing with his other band Down, and I saw him. And
I love Down.
I've heard endless horror stories about meeting Phil, and I seem to be the one guy who got the good story. And I asked him about those albums, and he's like, "Man, I love those albums, but too bad Vinny and Dime didn't like them." I was just like, "This is great. I love those songs."
I've heard horror stories about Phil too, but I like the dude. Whatever.
I've got a new clip for I'm gonna play tonight. So thank you, CFX90. Appreciate you very much. And they're hitting.
The glam albums.
They're hitting. They're hitting. Here we go.
Hey! This is library.
Based Asians, right?
I would say, yeah, it's effective.
Stop Asian hate. Speaking of people you can't hate, Moxie Dame, $10. Thank you, Foxy Moxie. She's frequent panelist. I'm lucky to call her a friend, or at least I call her that. She runs and hides. It's fine. You get used to it.
It's not because you call her friend; it's the way you say it. You say like frost the mouth. You twitch like a friend. Like
it's because I'm doing it from the bushes. I think. Like, you know, that's girls never like that. It's the whispering from the bushes about friends. I hate that shit. This is one of her arch enemies happens to be handsome Matt Foulball. And so I have a clip I made of him, so she might enjoy this one. This is Matt telling us about his college career.
No one gave a shit. Trans teacher in college. A trans teacher and a midget in the same semester. I mean, come on. What are you doing? I just got out of high school. Give me a break. You know, this is tough. This is tricky. You know, luckily I was a big lib gay boy, so I was very accepting.
Damn, Josh, you're fucking Nick God. That's a fantastic cosplay you've got going right there.
I've had the honor of hanging out with Matt in person. Really fun guy to hang out with, and we got. I remember like we left the meetup in 2001. I have no idea what car we stepped into, but it led us to a hotel, and that's that's all I remember.
2001, you say?
You 2001?
I'm in 2021. That's how drunk we were. I had my years wrong.
Yeah. Thank you, Moxie. He's a gay boy. He fucked a trans teacher and a midget in the same year.
I believe that.
That's
bro, the midget is so much worse than the tranny.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Like, no, because here's the dealio. Like, trannies are disgusting, but they can be proportional. Midgets can't. It's like fucking a pop figure or something.
But a midget
Like,
can
no.
be proportional because of the size. If they're the right
No,
size,
bro,
you
their
have the
heads
right
are always so
proportion.
big. Their fingers look like fucking like Walmart sausages. Like, oh no, dude, the display, like how asymmetrical midgets are is fucking gross.
I feel like Leona's just projecting here. That's what I think.
I think it is. Yeah. Jake Martin, thank you. $10. Appreciate you very much, Jake. I don't have a clip for you. I don't have a clip I need specifically for you yet. I got to get on that one. So what should I give you? Here's one. That's a good one. Thanks, Leon.
Over the last 2 years, hundreds have landed in the Summit County Medical Examiner's office.
My brother used to break in our house and steal the TV.
But now he's dead.
That was amazing. Oh, God.
You got to keep them hopping. And one more. I'll give you the eject. Thank you, Jake. The Bears survived the fall, just so you guys know. Trank darts, people. Trank darts. It's all good. It's all fun.
It's just a trank, bro.
Just a trank, bro. And, I mean, they tried with the trampoline. That was a good effort, I thought. Put thought into that one. Justin Cook was here early. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you. Fellow Canuck. This is more of a berserker Canuck, I would say, Justin. Good to have you here. Goober, what's up? No soup for you. Fair enough, Goober. No soup for me. Love It was here early. Good to see you. Love It. Love It's going to come on Circle of Jerks on Saturday, so it's going to be interesting. She's a great guest too, and she live streams on Sunday nights and sometimes Mondays. And she often puts her StreamYard link in her chat, which is a mistake. Me, I'm here. What's up, guys? What's up? Low Spec. We're talking about comic stuff, but Low Spec has been streaming KOTOR and KOTOR 2 on his channel. He got me to install the games, but now I'm trying to get the mods working on it, and it's a fucking headache. And I'm the worst for that stuff because I don't want to just like leave it and play. I want to get it perfect. I'll just never get to play it. It is what it is. It's my problem. Huge Geronimo. Gooch raid. Got a Gooch raid early on. Loved their start. Good way to start with a Gucci raid. UK Gamer. Foxy Moxie. Dildo's here. What's up, dorks? What's up, Dildo? 1,000 Men. Emperor Goodwin. Leon, Emperor Goodwin's going to give it to you next time you guys are on a live panel because
Tomorrow.
He's trying to fight you from the chat. And I mean, it's really, he gave up the high ground because you're on the panel. It's his own fault.
There is nobody that I love to disagree with more than probably Goodwin.
I don't know if Nick, you may not know Emperor Goodwin, but he has this tone that he uses with Leon that it's the tone that like if you had like a really mean principal, it's that tone. And but Leon takes it, so whatever. It's all good.
I enjoy the masochist. What can I say?
Ryu, what's up, Ryu? Cinevere.
We were reviewing Lethal.
Cinevere.
Yeah, you were there, Zach. We were reviewing Lethal Weapon on Niat's channel, and somebody's like, "Oh my god, we should get a Goodwin Leon Lethal Weapon remake." I was like, "That would be a."
That was me.
Was it you that said that?
Yes.
That's okay. It was Zach that said it.
I would love to see that. Like that
I
would
would
be
too.
perfect. He's way too old for this shit, and you're Leon. So Cinevere, hail Zach Pennell, and Cinevere is she's been on circles a couple times now, so she is a great. She's up and coming.
Mad congrats to her, by the way. She released a video today that literally within the first like 7 hours hit triple digits. First time that's ever happened. So good job on that, Cinny. You're doing well. Proud of you.
Congratulations, Cinny. There you are. And clipped. So something's clipped. Phrasing, Zach. That's probably my fault. Deserve it. Sketch, what's up, Sketch? Foxy Moxie. Holy crap. Jana Banana is in the house.
I made those wings, Jana. That's why I stopped texting you, because I was doing that then cooking.
Tell us of these wings. Thanks for subscribing from the Gooch Red. Love it. Oh, Jeff Pearson's low spec hanging out on Rumble. What kind of wings?
I made a cayenne pepper, lemon pepper, garlic dry rub. Baked them for about 40 minutes. Then I took a Japanese sauce and sort of glazed them, put them back in for another about 10, then broiled it. So the sauce got all nice and like solidified, coagulated. And let me tell you, it was some good shit.
Holy shit, Miss Maximus. That sounds great. I mean, I'm happy with my barbecue wings in Chirac, but dude, your stuff sounds really smoking.
I like cooking.
I can tell.
Thanks, Rick. I want to get, you know what I want to do in Vegas if you can make it, Nick? I want to share a pizza with Nick.
Dude, that would be the dream. If I go to Vegas, my thing is I want to be able to get pizza, and I want to go to the Metal Blade Records Museum. So I would love to get pizza with you. I think
we also have a plan, and we're all gonna go karaoke. The only rule is no video allowed, no phones allowed. But we all gonna get drunk and go karaoke in Vegas. So
I like that rule.
I'm hoping I'm doing a fundraiser all month long on my channel to get me to go. So that's what I've been doing. Is just basically just telling people, hey, if in order for me to go, I need to be super chatted like a
I get that.
So yeah, I'm about 30% of the way there. So
30%.
Yeah, I'm about 30% there.
We will get to that. I want to come on one of your Toxic Tuesdays too. If you'll
Bill and Ted next week, and then the week after, Bill and Ted 2. Have your pick, whichever one you want, man.
Toxic Tuesday's a lot of fun. You should do it, Zach. Toxic Tuesday's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, him, dude. It's fucking crazy. It was awesome. It was a very homoerotically great time. It really was. Like all the dudes questioned their own lives. I think some dudes probably took showers after that show.
I have not been on since Blazing Saddles, I think.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, too long.
I love that movie.
Love it. What's up, Thron Kill? Thanks for coming over from the Gooch stream. Appreciate you guys. Sassy's here. Always great to see Sassy. What's up, Cage and Corey? Thanks for coming, dude. Serviceable clip. Thank you, Jake. Do my best. I do my best. And Shippy, what's up, Shippy? Shippy, I have been forcing him to work for free on my Circle of Jerks show on Saturday, and he's a good first mate. I'll say, Shippy. What else we got? My kid is upstairs. Hey, Teresa, thanks for coming. My kid is upstairs yelling at my wife, so it's fine. Ignore that. It's all fine upstairs. Nothing to see here. What's up, Roman? Appreciate you, Roman.
He's got a situation. Oh, them kids.
It's our show now. Look at me, chat. Look at me. I'm the captain now. He's back.
Damn.
I'm back. You
know what's funny, Zax? Is you were like, my kid's upstairs screaming at my wife, and I'm like, I don't hear anything. And then the moment I think that, I heard it, I was like, oh, never mind.
Here it comes.
Yeah, now I do hear it too. I didn't hear it.
It's getting closer. It's getting closer.
I still didn't hear it, but I'm deaf in one ear, so.
He's supposed to be in bed, but all right.
Running or something. I heard about you running or something.
Thump, thump, thump. He is the loudest walker of all time. So no stealth at all. Does not care.
I want you to know I'm coming.
Yes.
You
up, Sarge?
You think you're going to bed, Dad? You're gonna hear these footsteps and go, shit.
No. Okay, so this kid, he's 9. He's woken me up before to make me make food for myself. Like,
wow.
He doesn't even want it. He's like, Dad, go make food. Like, go make a burrito like 2 a.m.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know. Yeah. Dad, go make a burrito. I don't want to make a burrito. I'm sleeping. No. Kids these days. What's up, Cope Dog? Top notch groping and slamming. I love it. All right. Yes. That's enough different level of flexing. Yeah, it is. What's up, Soul Assassin? If I missed you, I apologize. Oh, Jacob is here too. Okay. So we had a movie come out last night. Have any of you seen it?
Which one?
Captain America: Brave New World.
Oh, Great Reset. That's what I've been calling it. No, I'll see it sometime between now and my death.
Yeah. As far as I know, it was just for media last night. For
okay.
For media person. Yeah, I watched Midnight's Edge this morning. I watched Gary Nerdrock and Chris Gore talk about it as well. And it seems like pretty much everything that we heard about rumors was true about it. From the 5-6 minutes of Red Hole to you can tell a super reshot. And it seems like the only people who are, and of course it's got a low critic score of all things around
right.
And it's funny to see the shills really struggling to not say anything bad with this one. And I'm like, wow. No, guys, you could just say, is it really hard to kill you? Just say it was okay. Or is it really that hard just to say the word okay? You don't have to be over the moon about it, or okay, fine. You can't say it sucks, but can you just say it was all right? It could have been better. Why are we so afraid of those words?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm right there with. I feel like you have to be. The general consensus is you either have to completely love it and shill for it, or you have to completely hate it. You can't say, yeah, it's fine. I talked to my friend BD who got to see it last night, and his comment was, yeah, it's fine. Like it's not awful. There's definitely worse things that we've seen from Marvel. You can tell it's a bit of a Frankenstein's monster of stuff being put together. And but he did say there are moments in this that I really, really enjoyed. There are moments that I thought were cheesy, and he didn't expect Harrison Ford to do well. He enjoyed Harrison Ford. He's like, it looks like he actually tried for this, and like Indiana Jones.
Most things he does.
Yeah,
it doesn't take much for me to try.
But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. I don't think anyone's bought into Anthony Mackie as Captain America, and that's an uphill battle that I don't know Marvel's going to win.
The worst thing is they assume that just because he has the name Captain America, that was going to just automatically carry over from the previous 3 movies. Like, you don't get to just do that. And this once again, that whole thing about they think that their audience is stupid. And we continue to prove them wrong a lot. And so they don't want to learn from that mistake. And this was, I'm sure a lot of you guys know on the panel. Well, maybe Zach's. But they tried doing this in the comics 11 years ago. This is when the concept was fresh. It was right before the all-new, all-different Marvel hit. They had this. Jane Foster.
Is it really that long? Because I remember this. It's been 11 years.
Female Thor. And they were really trying to run these concepts going. And they lasted a few years in comic world. And then they reverted right back.
Well,
and
Female Thor's what got me to stop buying Marvel comics, not because of like big hate women. Like, they were just so fucking poorly written. I was like, is this what comics have become? And Female Thor was some of the last comics I ever actually bought from Marvel. Besides, I kept it going with Spider-Man for a while, but that was that was it.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's, I mean, look, not to go on a Female Thor tangent, but like, had they just
right,
approached
that's a whole other can of worms.
I know. Had they just even approached that story from the perspective of, hey, this is going to be a temporary thing. We're going to find a new direction to continue Jane's story with Thor. We're going to have this cancer element. And if they would have just focused on that, that would have been great. But instead, they had to spend every issue with them telling you why this is great and why you should like it. And it's like,
oh yeah,
I'm out at that point.
You could tell the writer was not becoming the character. He was making the character become the writer. And it was the writer saying, I'm going to use this character as my mouthpiece to say why this character, you need to love this character. And when people like a lot of the comic book YouTubers at the time were saying everyone around them just validates them, that's no exaggeration. That's what they did. That's what they did. And it was like all the characters had the same voices. Usually, like when you have like let's just say, for example, Superman has a way he speaks. You hear a certain voice when you hear Superman speak. You could say the same thing for Thor. The problem is with these characters like the Sam Wilson Cap, Jane Foster Thor, all of them.
When
I
read Superman comics, I hear Zach's
act the
voice.
same. They're all they all have the same dialogue, and it's like you have no characters at the point because you made all the characters become the writer. The worst of this is not even the writers who did these books. That honor goes to Tom King, but once again, that's a whole other can of worms. Whole other can of worms.
So how are these? This was 10, 11 years ago. You said so. How was it? Like how was it accepted at the time?
You know, it seems like they originally had the first issue. We usually when a first issue comes out of anything, you're gonna have the initial interest, or people just want it because it's the first issue, and then they fell off a cliff really quickly. Both of them.
This is the cover from the first issue, isn't it? This right here. This is number one.
This was from Rick. This was Rick Remender wrote this, and Stuart Immonen did this cover. I think he may have done the interiors as well. Which I do like Stuart Immonen as an artist, but his talents were absolutely wastefully utilized on a book. He deserved way better at the time. Luckily, he got better after this book. But at my shop, personally, a lot of guys dropped off Thor before even the first issue hit with female Thor. A lot of them didn't give the time of day to Sam Wilson as Captain America, and they were guys who liked Sam Wilson as the Falcon, but they're like, we just got over Bucky being Cap 3 years ago, which is actually true because a lot of people don't know in the comics Bucky was Captain America, and they changed it right back to Steve Rogers right before the first Avenger came out in the theaters. So to a lot of comic fans, 3 years still feels like yesterday to them. So it says like we just got Steve Rogers back for a few years, and now you're already changing it to yet another guy. We don't have time to grow with Steve all over again. And that was the frustration for a lot of them. And for the Thor fans, it was frustrating because they were actually enjoying the Thor run. They got 2 years of what they thought was a cool story, and then all got botched to bring in Jane Foster.
Yep.
I don't know what it was like for Josh and Leon, but that was what my store experience was like.
Were you reviewing at this point, Josh?
No. Well, I've never reviewed Marvel, so I only covered DC. But by the time all new, all different came around, yes, I was professionally reviewing comics. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting thing because Nick's spot on. Like they had killed Steve not too long prior to
was that Civil War?
No, Civil War was 06, 07.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they killed Steve after there was a fallout in Civil War. They killed or put him in a coma. I don't remember after the court trial.
Yeah, I mean he's out of commission, and that's when Bucky originally stepped up. And Bucky served what 2-3 years, maybe.
Yeah, he did 2 or 3 years in the comics, and he had mixed opinions. There are some people who were just waiting for Steve to come back, and we all knew it was going to happen.
Right.
But then there are some people who still gave it a shot, and I was of the camp that never wanted it. I was just like, I liked Bucky as the Winter Soldier. I was already liking what Ed Brubaker was doing with Steve Rogers in the story. So I thought, hey, you know what? I couldn't argue with it because it was still selling. So it was just something I personally bowed out of. But when the market speaks, sometimes you got to be in the minority. So I respectfully bowed out.
But you were a heavy collector before that. Like, did you buy Captain America comics?
Me?
Yeah, Nick.
My Captain America is actually one of the first comics outside of my all-time favorite Marvel books were Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Fantastic Four. Captain America is probably right at the close fourth place. My first issue was it was written by the really extremely psychotic but equally talented Mark Waid with Ron Garney on art. If you remember that Berserker comic that came out that Keanu Reeves co-wrote, it was that artist. It was that artist, and it's a really iconic cover. It's this cover where you could see like a bunch of like lights, and then you could see the shadow of Captain America standing. It's a really killer cover, and I fell in love with Captain America comics from that run. And then Ed Brubaker really solidified it for me from there. So I definitely.
Well, you brought Mark Waid. Mark Waid, like you said, is a fucking psycho, but goddamn, he's a good writer.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it because he's if he's an A+ writer, he's an A+ psycho. He is as good at being a writer as he is as good being an absolute psycho, and I hate it because he does know how to leave his ideology to the side when he's writing these stories. He actually does. But man, he balances out when he goes on Twitter to his echo chamber.
Can't say that about Dan Slott.
No, oh God, no. Dan Slott, if he had to say, hey, you either had to eat this piranha, eat off your genitals, or admit you were wrong to a fan, he will choose the piranha eating off his genitals right away.
Yeah, he will. He will. Oh, Jesus.
I want to show some. I like, John Campea. He's so. Actually, today I was looking for people like him to stand for this and show for this movie, and like he hadn't seen it yet. And I think a lot of people, like even Grace Randolph, was like wishy-washy, non-committal on it.
Would.
And me too, absolutely, 100%. I would. Yeah, I would.
I would bait her all over her.
All over. I mean, just and I would tell everybody, like that would be the reason that you'd want to do it, and figure out what's sticking her hair up, and maybe that's a bit of Leon. You never know.
Hey,
yeah, could be Leon.
Hello, salty goodness.
Yeah, love salt.
Oh, that could be my spinoff channel, Salty Goodness.
Do it.
Great. Hit me up.
You might come up in the algorithm just by default by being affiliated with Salty Cracker. So just saying, salty and salty.
Yeah.
But I do think that like Campea here, he's I think he's already melting down. This is funny. It can't be exposed. Thank you very much for finding this. He hasn't seen it, but he's trying to defend it, and and so he gets the chat calls him out for it, and he gets mad. And he pulls it. He pulls a Campea. Let's enjoy blowing his top. Thank you, Campea Exposed. Movies.
Hold on, that's the name of the channel.
No, Captain Marvel came out before I think Blade.
Oh, okay.
Blade was announced, I believe. I think it did. I could be wrong about that. Okay. By the way, there's an idiot moron in the live chat by the name of Felix Gomez, who, as a moron does, because they're completely stupid and they don't have ears or brains, apparently, saying, John judging a movie he hasn't even seen. Listen to me, fucktwit. I was very clear. I don't know if the movie's good or not. I haven't seen it.
That's how he talks to his chat.
All I've said is I've heard.
I mean, that's how I talk to my chat, so I can't say anything.
I am trashing on is the decision they made to make it a CGI monkey because nobody was going to go see it. I said,
talking about Anthony Mackie?
No. Now I have genuine criticisms for John Campea. I'm gonna be fair and say I would need more context into why he called that guy in his chat fuck to it. Because to be fair, we all have had a guy, or at least most of us had, like not me particular, but let's just say a lot of my peers, Comics Division, Tom Connors, they've all had that one guy who wants to constantly heckle, who is actually there to stir shit. And yeah, you're gonna want to tell that guy. For all I know, he could have that equivalent. Or for all I know, that guy is generally trying to, hey, I'm John, I'm trying to genuinely challenge you. So I don't know the context behind that side of it. So, but John Campea is Showmaster 101. So I there's no point in me saying what he has to say because we know he's going to say it's great anyway.
I call people like that in my chat mods, pretty much. It's kind of how I roll around here. Right, Dildo? There you are. It needs more hood and I think I have that clip actually. Do I have it?
Oh, when he's discussing Transformers?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't have it. Must have. Oh, here it is.
Two hood niggas that talk ridiculous jive, are illiterate, and I'm not making that up, but they can't even read. They talk like this, and they have buck teeth, and one of them even has a big buck gold tooth.
I just changed the picture. That's all, and it changes everything.
Yeah,
yeah, that's our boy camp. Yeah. So, Leon, do you have any connection to the Cap comic? What do you think about Sam Wilson taking over in the movies and the books?
I I've got really mixed feelings on Captain America as a hero to begin with. Or like not as a hero, but like in terms of his comics, I would absolutely like rather clean the fucking elephant cage in my local zoo with my retinas than see this movie because I could not give a shit less about the MCU at this point. But I bought Cap comics. I like some. I dislike others. I think I'm like the vast majority of people that bought Captain America #1 when they brought him back with the Hail Hydra stuff, just in the hopes that in 80 years will be worth something or whatever. But it's look, I'm a Superman fan. To me, Captain America is just discount Superman. So.
Really?
I would go. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I feel like Cap has.
When I want a superhero that represents America, the big blue Boy Scout, I want Superman. I don't want Captain. I actually prefer Marvel over DC 9 times out of 10. But yeah, Cap never really did it for me in his solo books. I like him in team ups. I like him in the Avengers. I love Civil War until the very end when Cap pusses out and is like, "No, I was wrong." When no, he was correct. Like the Cap was the correct one in that instance. But of course, was it Mark Millar that wrote those?
Yes, he did.
Like Mark Millar, of course, had to fucking throw the baby out the bathwater, make Cap go out like a fucking bitch. It's yeah, no, I've got, like I said, my opinion on Captain America is very mixed in general. I think though the best Captain America is in the Marvel Zombies universe. Like
read the Ed Brubaker run, from the early 2000s. If you want a Captain America story that will change your mind, get invested there. Ed Brubaker absolutely had a great run with the character. It's probably one of Ed Brubaker's best pieces outside of his Daredevil and his indie works of Criminal and Sleeper.
Agreed.
I'll go through some of my books that I had, and apparently I bought some Captain America comics back in the 80s when it was John Walker for like a very brief period of time. It looked like
USA. See, I actually like USA better than Captain America. Just as a character.
And I think Steve Rogers was in jail at the time or something like that. I don't know, but I had like a couple of them, and they were John Walker. So that was pre-US agent. I guess he was probably US agent after that, but.
I was purely just talking about like the characters themselves, but also Cinevere. That's not what I mean. I'm not comparing their powers. I'm comparing their character. When you say that Cap can still be killed, to be fair, so can Superman. Superman got plenty of weaknesses, but the point is, no, there's a lot of parallels between Cap and Superman, and I'm talking about just a character that embodies the American dream and the American spirit, not their powers notwithstanding. I think Superman's better at that than Cap.
But like this, here's a good point though, because Angry Joe, I watched the stuff on when he's covering Falcon Winter Soldier because I hate that show. I think it's one of the worst things I've ever watched. It is comically bad now. But Angry Joe thought Captain America was bulletproof. And so he's reviewing the show and he said, but John, this version of Cap, John Walker, is not bulletproof. And then one of his guys is like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, he's not bulletproof. Like Steve Rogers is bulletproof. He's like, no, that's why he has a shield. And like that was live on the stream.
Maybe he was thinking Luke Cage, and he's like, oh, the race swap because Black Captain America.
Well, maybe.
Luke Cage is bulletproof.
Yeah, it's like that's why the shield is specifically for that. Probably, I would guess for that reason. Otherwise you might have something better than a shield. Yeah, don't watch. I'm not saying you should watch Angry Joe. This was
like a fucking gun.
I want people to explain to me what the fuck was going on with my TV when I'm watching this Falcon the Winter Soldier where he can't get a loan. He's got bad credit. The cops hate him.
I never saw the show, dude.
Dude. Oh man, what a terrible show.
The only Marvel show that I watched was WandaVision. And to be fair, I liked it while I was watching it. And a couple weeks later, a friend of mine who hadn't seen it yet, like a couple weeks after it finished airing, asked me, he's like, yo, what'd you think of it? I was like, oh yeah, it was really cool. I liked it. And I realized I was struggling to remember what actually happened in the show. And it had only been like 2 weeks. I was like, oh, maybe it wasn't that. And it was like this. And from there, I never watched another Marvel show. So the only one I've seen is WandaVision.
Well, he couldn't co-sign for a boat loan for his sister, and that was episode 2. And that was
because the fuck would they need a boat loan? Black people don't go in the water.
They had that's why they need a boat. They can't swim, so she had to have a boat.
Okay, fair enough. Right? That makes sense. You twisted the logic. I get it now.
Right. And so he couldn't co-sign for a loan for her because, well, your kind of people. and they meant blip people, but it obviously was a reference. And then the same, I think it was an episode later when he got stopped by the cops when he was walking with Bucky, who was the Winter Soldier.
They got
the
profiled.
At one point, he was the most wanted person in the world, mass murderer, walking by. And you're like, hey, Bucky, you got this black fella here with you? Are you going to be good? Like, what the fuck? Like, most cops would recognize that as being like, oh yeah, that's Winter Soldier. We should keep our eye on that guy. And this is Sergeant Sam Wilson, who we know of as a hero, but no, that's the writing. What's up, Paulie?
That's what happens when you have an activist write that show, and that's what they had. I will say pretty much everything Bucky centric in that show was excellent, but that was only about 30% of the show.
I think you're being too kind. There are some good parts of Bucky because there are some really cringe parts of Bucky. I don't blame Sebastian Stan, but when they were do you remember when they put them right next to each other at that table? I was like, well, are they trying to get Twitter shippers to ship Sam and Bucky together? It was early on. I was like, this is really cringy seeing these two really close like this. You could do a Rocky 3 badass, belly tops, bumping chests, jump roping, sweating together. Okay, great. But seeing Bucky and Sam, that did not work.
That was 100% a play on what they did in Civil War with the car. Can you move your seat up? No.
Oh, see, the car was done better in Civil War.
I agree. I mean, better. But we're talking about, like in total, maybe 3 minutes out of however many hours. But everything else they did with Bucky, him coming to terms with everyone he killed because he does remember, that's good. Him finding the hero in himself, that was good. The Wakanda stuff with him, I thought was excellent. But everything.
You guys are clearly both comp fans. I gotta ask, do you like Bucky as a hero? Because even in the comics, I prefer Bucky as a bad guy. I do.
Go ahead, Josh. You take it. I'll go second.
I was just gonna say I like him as an anti-hero. I like him as someone that wants to do good but isn't afraid to take that step, just that small step across the line, because he understands the permanence of it. And I think he's one of those type of people, and I don't mind that.
I would like to see what would happen if he were a hero fully, but the problem is, and this is not exclusive to the movies, but this is also something that Marvel, the comics division, is also guilty of. They don't know what to do with Bucky since he's no longer a villain. They have no idea what to do with him.
And maybe that's why I do like him better as a villain, because I do not connect with a heroic Bucky. And you might be right. Maybe it's because they don't know how to actually do it.
I think they don't have the right writer who cares to try. That's another thing too. I've learned that sometimes you just gotta have the right writer motivate, because people could look at, let's just say a normie could look at on the surface and think, oh, Booster Gold's gotta be a really cruddy character. It's just like, well,
I love Booster Gold. Booster Gold's a dickhead, but he is still a hero. He was never a bad guy. He's just a fucking douche.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm trying to allude to here. Is I can prove that normally wrong, but hey, why don't you go read this Booster Gold run from Jeff Johns, and that will change your mind. And I could say the same thing about character like Zatanna. I could say the same thing about Aquaman. Just point being is, you just gotta have the right guy who's gonna go in there and get a story and say, you know what, I'm going to make this work. I truly believe if someone actually wasn't lazy and say, you know what, I need to get a story with Bucky Barnes being a hero, being his own man, moving past the Winter Soldier, I think it's out there. I just don't know if we'll ever see it because Marvel does not care about hiring talent.
Paulie, are you asking for Leona or Tina?
I thought he was asked. I was like,
look,
was he talking
Leona
about
don't be coming out unless you be paying Zach's that fucking that moolah. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't opposed. I ain't done Leona in like month and a half because people have been paying for me not to do it. But if you want it, you best be paying Zach some shit, yo. I'll grip for my homie.
I miss Tina.
I know Tina's got to make a return.
Yeah, someday soon. Is she with Max?
Probably. He's been quiet lately, so
Fair. All right, so we got I want to go over to Thunderbolts. I was asking you about this one, Joshy, because I don't really know any of this stuff, the background of it whatsoever. I've heard of Sentinel, but I think from you,
Sentry.
Yes. Yes. See, exactly. And Bucky, I think that they really hurt him with that show. So for this, I hope they allow him to be decent in this movie, because I thought Falcon Winter Soldier he really wasn't. Like he got schooled by those chicks with sticks really easily. They poked his arm off, like it was a bit cringe, and he lost to Carly, and so I think that didn't make him look credible to me. I hope they do that, because he should be the lead of this team. I feel like, from just like someone who watches the movies. In the comics, who led this? Is this anywhere near the comic team?
Not the traditional team. They've kind of pulled people that have been there. At some point, Bucky did lead the team at one point, but it was one of those like, we're going to try to do something so different that it's cool, and it didn't work. The original team was led by Baron Zemo, who's in Falcon and Winter Soldier, who was
fun in that.
Yeah, I mean, like they were essentially setting this up. Why else are you going to break him out of jail if you're not going to do Thunderbolts? And it was very clear they were setting up Thunderbolts. And then they're like, "Yeah, we're going to do this."
Sorry.
I was just going to say, I'm also going to predict. I think this is going to be the worst use of Bucky that we've seen in the MCU. I think this is going to be worse than Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Well, at least there he had some redemption. Like there was some good stuff with him. I fixate on the combat stuff a bit, and he just didn't.
So
I expect more from him.
Right. Here's the thing about in the comics, kind of discuss this at points, but they never really bring it into the films, and you got to wonder. But in Wakanda, the Dora Milaje, they have enhanced abilities. So do the Black Widows in comics. Like they've got their own kind of things that they've done to them at some points. So I don't mind them holding their own physically, but that's just me. Taskmaster. Listen, Taskmaster in this, fucking that person's getting eliminated ASAP.
Not lasting long, it sounds like.
No.
And hello, Nadia. Thanks for coming.
I'll be real. Sentry is one of my favorite Marvel characters. I think this movie is going to bastardize him to high heaven.
Mm-hmm. Always good. Yeah. Canoli in the chat. Blenoli. All right. I want to go through this trailer a bit, because I want to be fair with these movies, and I want to be excited for one of them. And I'm having a hard time for being excited for anything except for maybe Daredevil. I'm excited to see now that they've maybe made some changes to it. But yeah, this is
Roman of the Empire. You mean the more retarded Suicide Squad?
Was this a response to that?
I
think if it is, it's 10 years too late.
I think the movie announcement was a story created as that. No, not really. It was just yet another Marvel team, because there's 800 teams, which is fine. But the thing is, the lineup for outside of Baron Zemo, it's a completely different lineup. And I think Hawkeye was one of the original members of the
Hawkeye, but it wasn't Hawkeye. It was if I remember right, it was what's his name, the Daredevil villain,
Bullseye.
As
he was in a later lineup. He was in like the
that later lineup. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, he was in one of the lineups. But as far as the OG lineup, I don't think. I mean, someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but outside of Zemo and Hawkeye, out of the OG Thunderbolts lineup, I don't think any of those characters have yet to appear in the MCU.
Yeah, wasn't there like a character named like Alpha or something like that in the original lineup?
There's an Atlas.
Atlas.
They had some like really oddball characters, which is fine.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
Songbird. I forgot Songbird. You're right. Hawkeye is there.
Yeah, Songbird was there. Man, I forgot about that one. Yeah,
that's a big team.
It was a huge team. And,
team.
They had a bit of a revolving door of characters, and through time they added people, and they changed it. But it is this is basically, we're gonna take leftover characters who pretty much either had not well received arcs, or maybe arcs that people seem to like these characters, but we don't know what to do with them. But we're going to slap the Thunderbolts name on, because that's the name that has recognition. So that's what they did with this. Assumingly, that's what they're doing with this movie. It's a Thunderbolts in name only.
Yep. Well,
which is why they got the asterisk at the end.
Yeah, I fully expect like the day before this drops, they're going to be like, oh, it's actually Dark Avengers.
Right.
So
that's the asterisk.
I had. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I had Dark Avengers vibes as well, and like the thing is, Dark Avengers is done by created by Norman Osborn in the comics, if I recall. And
you are right.
with what we've seen in that new Friendly
Iron
Neighborhood Spider-Man
Patriot.
movie. Yes, he was Iron Patriot at the time, exactly. But with what we've seen with that new Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show, you could absolutely have Norman Osborn do Dark Avengers. It would really hit close to home because he's
darker,
black now. Yeah.
Nah. Oh, dude, I tried watching a few episodes of it, and man, I should have been on the Suicide Squad after that show.
I haven't even given it a shot. Spider-Man's my favorite. I'm not even gonna fucking bother. Fuck that.
Thank you for the prayers, Chippy. Appreciate that. Okay, so that's the I guess one of the lineups, and the only reason I know some of those characters is from the Ultimate Alliance games because I played those.
God, the first Ultimate Alliance game is the best Marvel game ever. Full stop.
Kicks ass. Yep. Yes.
Spider-Man PS1, the first one.
That was good too. I played on the Dreamcast, but same thing. Yeah, I love Spider-Man PS1 slash Dreamcast.
Let's talk facts. The event.
We'll see.
I say okay. Literally, so this trailer dropped during the Super Bowl. Me and my dad were watching the Super Bowl, right? And when this happened, my dad had two comments about this entire trailer. First one was, "Is that Tulsa Gabbard stand-in?"
Yeah.
And the second one was, "Not this guy from Stranger Things. What's his name? David Harbour." Yeah, that guy. And that was it. That was the extent of the conversation my dad and I had about this trailer. Tulsi Gabbard stand-in, and is that the guy from Stranger Things?
She looked like that in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, to be fair, and that show was shot in 2020.
True. Dark Tulsi.
Yeah, but in 2020, when Tulsi Gabbard put motherfucking Kamala Harris in her place, so
hold on though. She had the streak, but the streak wasn't white; it was purple.
Oh, Dark Sea.
Did she? I can't remember. I watched the show once, every episode once, and I never watched it again.
Yeah, she had the purple in her hair for this and for Wakanda Forever.
Look, I like Julie Louis-Dreyfus, but she ain't no motherfucking Tulsi Gabbard. I'm just saying, although both of them are hotter than Viola Davis as Amanda Waller, so like,
or President Amanda Waller, you mean?
What the man? Whatever.
She's a bad pick for this character, though. Like, she just does not fit as Contessa, like at all.
I'm just waiting for Jerry Seinfeld to show up in back. That's what I'm waiting for.
Kramer.
Yeah, who would you cast him as though?
It was terrible.
They said they want someone Jewish to play Ben Grimm. You could have gotten Jerry Seinfeld for that, but no.
And also someone that sounded like they're from New York, but we couldn't even get that right either. Because the thing is supposed to sound like he's from New York with a rocky voice, but nope.
We'll probably get to Fantastic Four in a bit. If knowing Zach's though, it's probably on the docket tonight. We'll stow that. We'll stow that. I'm gonna sit here and think who I want Jerry Seinfeld to play.
And Nick, I know that's like near and dear to your heart too, the Fantastic Four. So I needed to have you here to talk about that for sure. But Roman's here. I got this for you, Roman. This is how mad Roman got watching Secret Invasion. That's the worst thing. You're right. It's the worst fucking thing. Fuck it. It's so fucking bad. I'm so fucking mad about that. How do you know?
It's about to destroy the studio.
Because it fucking is. It's gonna be so fucking bad. Dude.
Is there an earthquake over there? What is happening?
No, Roman. Okay.
Avengers are not coming.
Why? By the way, why?
Good question. Yeah.
Why are we know there's a new Avengers lineup. We have seen them. Why aren't the Avengers coming? What the fuck could possibly be more important? What could be more important than the evil Superman of of Marvel being what?
Who is the lineup in the new Avengers, though? In all seriousness,
if we're to take the end of Shang-Chi, it's Rhodey, Hulk, Captain Marvel,
but isn't Rhodey
and Okoye? Huh?
Isn't Rhodey a Skrull now?
Oh, they fucked that up so bad. I bet they pretend like. I bet they pretend like Secret Invasion. I bet they try to pretend like She-Hulk didn't happen. I bet they're gonna pretend like what's the Echo? I bet they pretend like that didn't happen.
Yeah, they already said She-Hulk will not nothing about that show will be acknowledged and born again.
Yep.
Thank fuck. Oh man.
You're welcome, Roman. You're welcome.
The American people.
What happened there, Josh?
Maggot.
The person got.
That's who I would cast Jerry Seinfeld as, is the X-Men character Maggot.
Oh, that's the Void. So look, I don't know. I'm gonna say, and I don't know if Nick will agree with me. I'm surprised they're bringing the Void in this early. I figured they would have introduced the Sentry, made him a big deal, and then in another film introduced the Void.
But that's why I said they're going to show over his character, Josh, because they're introducing the Void.
Yeah. Let's do DBZ analogy. If Frieza had his various forms and then he had his final form, the Void is Sentry's final form. This is supposed to be, this is my final boss stage. And they're bringing this, so either they're already showing off scenes from presumably the third act, and that means we rush to the Void already, which honestly, to me, in an ideal world, the Void should have been utilized for another movie, like a Secret Wars type of movie. Like, you usually don't blow your wad with this. Like, but once again, that is an evolutionary
we
stage.
need to fall in love with Sentry as a hero before we can understand the ramifications of
Very
the Void.
demented hero.
Sentry, Sentry tries to be a hero, but the influence of the Void is Sentry as a character has a good heart. He wants to be a hero. He's very much akin to like Moon Knight in that regard. But starting with the Void takes everything away from what makes the Void interesting and what it takes away from Sentry.
Agreed. And so Zach's Sentry kind of has a DID thing going on where he's got, I think the way that Nick described it as well, he's got his final form, but it's also like a total disassociative type thing that he has happening, which we've got enough of this in Marvel because we've got
Bucky's had it at this point. Moon Knight's had it.
Well, and Moon Knight's not about Final Four. It's just he has different personalities.
Right.
They just utilize it like shit. And also, they made the first ever live probably about Moon Knight, about Layla.
They did. Of course they did.
Fucking assholes. Oh.
Very little Moon Knight.
Yeah, right. He's barely Moon Knight in Moon Knight.
There was barely any Moon Knight in
it. And they had to make his suit a computer suit. Really? Is it really kill Oscar Isaac to put on an actual suit?
He had a real suit. He had a real suit that they used. They've got
It
you know that
like it was
cheesy
computerized.
Oh yeah, the transformation was computerized, but they had an actual suit. They've got behind the scenes footage of him in an actual suit, just without a cape. The cape was always computerized. The suit looked decent. Honestly, the suit looked great when you saw it up close because they have like all this hieroglyphics and stuff woven into the suit that you never see. And I'm like, dude, that's such a nice like touch that no one ever knows about. But yeah, what a miss. That show was such a miss. Great acting from him at some points, but I hate that they changed.
They soyed up his not the Mark Spector personality, but Stephen Grant. Stephen Grant's supposed to be like this Bruce Wayne head honcho type of guy, and he was this really bumbling bitch. Like I was like, this isn't who Stephen Grant is
at all.
At all. They did an almost 180 on his personality. Like, I don't recognize this. I don't recognize this trash. Man, I'm not gonna fault Oscar Isaac for it, but man, whoever thought that was a good idea, fuck. Ricky Retardo here.
Ranjit Kumar.
My mom.
No.
Mom. Just stick it in on your mom. Can't get a date, Mom. Sorry.
Is this Shadow Leon? Good question.
No, all those shadows don't actually make any sense considering the lighting. This is actually really bad because I initially thought that maybe there was like Sentry himself was maybe hovering above screen and we're seeing his shadow. But if you look at the other shadows, they don't correlate to anything. So I think this is just a case of bad CGI. And
those people disappeared.
So they're gone.
The people turned into the shadow.
Okay.
The American.
And they is that like a process they can be returned from?
I mean, Peter Pan just had to sew that bitch back to his feet, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
People say.
There's some big threat out there, and you are going to help me stop it.
Wait, us?
Can someone please do something about Red Guardian?
He's awful.
It's embarrassing. How could you play that role?
Yeah.
His accent is fucking atrocious, by the way. It just, I don't know, it sounds like me trying to do a Russian accent. I'm a strong Russian man. You drink vodka for breakfast. Like, I'm doing the same shit he's doing. It's bad, dude.
Yeah.
All this fucking representation, make sure you get a Jewish guy to play the thing, but you couldn't get a fucking Russian to play. Like, oh my God.
Look,
it's bad, bro.
I'm not gonna subscribe to that. I fucking hate this
I do
notion
too.
that
No,
you
I hate
have
that
to be
bullshit
something
as well,
to play
but-
something. It's acting.
No,
like, come on.
I completely agree. But if you can't get an actor that can do the accent, then maybe get someone with that accent. Or get an actor that can do the accent.
No. I think he can do the accent. I think this is what they wanted. I think
they're that incompetent. You think that's what they wanted?
Time out. Hold on. Go back to the opening scene of Black Widow, which was actually a fantastic scene. You're in the 90s. You're in the 90s. They're operating as spies. It was super serious. Like that, what we got for like 8 minutes there, I would have taken in like a mini series of that, being like, hey, what were they doing in the US back then? And just do a series showing their mission. Because it was so
great.
well acted.
The first part was until they aged up. I thought it was great.
Yeah. And then you fast forward, and both of them are like retards that don't know how to function because, hey, it's Marvel and we got to be cutesy and deliver the jokes. Like, I'm over the humor.
I never watched Black Widow, so I got nothing. The moment I heard they changed Taskmaster to a woman, I was
the biggest fumbles to Taskmaster and Black Widow herself.
Yeah.
I'm a big Black Widow fan of the books. I feel like in an ideal world, she should have one of the best Marvel movies, if not the best movie. You could have, government conspiracies up the wazoo, badass action. Like, it should be testosterone filled, but except with the lady kicking ass. It should have been everything that the Winter Soldier was, maybe even amplified. But we end up getting nothing that was good. And now, of course, Taskmaster, man, seeing that tiny midget head on the body of a man, I laughed so hard at the theater.
Well, that was such a last minute change because it was supposed to be, oh God, I can never remember his name. It's his name something Fag Bentley. But he's that's his OT Fag Bentley. He's the actor. He's in Black Widow. But he's the mercenary guy that gets her the plane and helps her escape.
Yeah.
So he was supposed to be Taskmaster, and then people figured it out that oh, that's going to end up being Taskmaster while they were filming. So they changed it at the last minute to make it what's his name's daughter, which was I think because they didn't want it to be obvious. They wanted to suspend belief, they wanted to surprise people, and it failed because you then took away. This whole we've spent 10 years at that point dealing with what is Black Widow's red ledger, and the red ledger, the thing that she can't move past is that she killed an innocent kid, and you just took that away.
This
is
fucking
it really that hard?
I mean, to be fair, Josh, something like that is it's a wound that never heals.
They really could just make Tony Masters.
Thank you, Zach. I'm glad you appreciated that.
Why is it so hard to just make it be Tony Masters? This is not complicated. We don't need another identity change. Just make it be Tony Masters. He doesn't have to have some past connection. He can just be a simple assassin brought in there to do the dirty work of some rich billionaire, whatever, and just be the imitator. Instead, they had to add in all this unnecessary stuff just to make the character to tie into Natasha's past. We did not need any of that.
No. So the original thing was
traditionally a Captain America villain.
He's a Marvel villain. He's a Marvel villain. He's not he's fought Captain America. He's fought Black Widow. He's fought all sorts of. You could get away with that type of villain. I think. To be fair, I thought Taskmaster, in theory, could work for a Black Widow movie because she is a human and she's also really adaptable to facing situations that are normally above what she's capable against, but finding creative, odd ways to overcoming the odds. And that's a cool character who's not the most super powered, but also is definitely a little bit above the peak of human strength because of his imitatable abilities. It was a good idea in theory. Their execution was just the personification of retarded.
Yeah.
Speaking of execution, do we really need Yelena Belova? Because like I was saying on my show the other day, this chick has she got weird titties.
Florence Pugh, man.
Yeah, Florence Pugh. Yeah, we saw her topless.
I call her Florence Smells.
She got some weird ass titties, bro.
Am I the only one that likes Florence Pugh? Am I the only one? Oh man,
we can't all be perfect. So
I don't know. I like her.
What's up, Alex?
Not
Will.
Alex, you agree? She got weird titties.
That was actually the exact question I was about to make the comment on. Is Josh is apparently the only one that's not turned off by Florence Pugh's weird ass titties. So, I think that says a lot.
I mean, I like all boobs. I really do. Oh, hey, kitty. Weird titties are better than none. Okay.
I'm sorry. I got to disagree. Weird titties are not better than none. Like, there's a scale to it. There's a scale to like how weird the titties are.
I love all titties. For the record, all. I think that right now though, what we need to do is I feel like we need a representation break here.
How much money do you send them on a monthly basis? I send my children $750 a month.
$55. All right, we're good. We're +3 now. We're +3.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I got here. I didn't see Leon because he was kind of covered by the face, but I could see Nickweiser. And all of a sudden I heard Leon's voice coming through, and I was very confused. Like, Leon, have you picked up a meth habit in the last 24 hours? Like,
no, I quit meth when I was a kid.
You quit when you were a kid? You quit meth?
Yeah, I was 15, 16. Yeah.
Yeah, get out of your system. That makes sense. Here we go. Paulie will be happy if he's still here. Lady B.
Hi. Oh, it's this trailer. I'm like, I saw this. Oh yeah, me and my lovely husband went and saw an absolutely delightful movie.
Oh, what was
Companion?
No, it was called Green and Gold.
Okay.
It was a movie that was like one of those Fathom event movies. It was put out by this restaurant chain in Wisconsin called Culver's. And it
I love Culver's.
Yes, dude. Yes, it's so good.
In
It's
Wisconsin.
it's
off
called
of 90.
Green and Gold.
Love it.
It's sort of like it's this movie about like it's in the 90s and it's about like these people that have a farm. There's baby cows, there's chickens, there's cats. It's a good movie. Oh, there's Alex. He knows. Yeah. So Culver's kind of sponsored this movie, and it's just wholesome. The story's good. It surprised me because I'm like, I thought things were gonna happen, but it didn't go the way I thought, and it was awesome. But yeah, we saw this trailer and before it, and I'm just like, who the hell are these people? Like, what characters are they?
So Culver's the Butterburgers people? Is that what that is?
Yeah. Culver's is so good. It's like Chick-fil-A.
North Dakota has Culver's, baby.
Yeah, you guys are so close to us. Like, I wish the Culver's could cross the border.
I love it. I have Culver's.
So fucking good.
I'm surrounded by them. It's a great problem to have. When me and my kids went to the Dells a few months ago.
Oh, I haven't been there yet.
When we were on our way to the Dells, I was just like, okay, we'll just go straight to the Dells. But then I saw a sign that said the world's largest Culver's. I'm like, okay, kids, we're making a pit stop at the largest Culver's. And there was no complaints there. So, and they love Culver's. So, yeah, it was awesome to see the largest Culver's and get that deliciousness. It was huge, too. I was like, holy crap. Mm-hmm.
The world's largest Culver's. We can dream.
Yeah.
Concrete mixers.
Ironically, much like Culver's, the movie was very solid and well put together. I was kind of surprised. I kind of went into it thinking like, oh god, this is going to be kind of one of those like, cringy quasi-religious movies, or like one of these like, the dumb like by the numbers
Angel Studios ones,
inspirational films. And
there's a place for those.
Yeah, it was, but it was. I enjoyed myself, and I don't enjoy anything.
I want to call attention to some earlier girl-on-girl possible foreplay in the chat. Just Jana, love it.
Jana.
Don't think I missed it. I just want you guys to know.
I'm going to scroll back. How to find this.
Mad Cheesemo's in the house. Thanks for coming, Mad. He's got a second channel now he's doing, and he's starting from scratch. Okay, I consulted with my husband, and he changed my mind. Weird boobies can be worse. I mean, like, what do you mean by weird boobies, though?
So
like worse
look,
than no boobies. Like you'd rather be a dude.
So you heard the phrase "twins, not sisters," and like I appreciate that. Like boobs ain't gotta be symmetrical. They ain't gotta be perfect. They gotta be they're sisters, not twins. I mean, but like it's not even like Florence Pugh's titties aren't siblings; they're step siblings.
Cousins.
Like there's no relation there.
From the same town.
I don't know. I always get weirded out with women that have like tuberous looking boobs. Like that's weird. That's just strange.
Also that.
The Devil's Tower. We're going weird places here. Florence Pugh, look at what you did to us. Look at what you did to us. Is her character based on anything in the comics, guys?
Yelena Belova, Black Widow's adopted sister.
Oh,
which kind of makes sense. Adopted sister, just like adopted weird. I see the connection now.
That was definitely the weirdest part of Oppenheimer. Was just
her sitting in the chair.
That was weird.
That's what I noticed. I couldn't take my eyes off them, and not in a good way.
You know what? I'll still take boobs. I'll take boobs over no boobs.
Yeah.
And like I can't think of a case. You could be correct, but I have yet to see a case where I'm like, I don't want those. I'd rather there be none. Yeah.
So are these just all the leftover characters from random like Marvel comics? All the side characters got together and like
as far as the MCU is concerned, these are the characters that they don't know what to do with them, so they're putting them together basically. Yep. They didn't know what to do with the U.S. Agent after Falcon Winter Soldier. They didn't know what to do with Yelena after Black Widow. They didn't know what to do with the Ghost after Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh, hey, let's put them in this movie together, and since the Thunderbolts is the name that has brand recognition, we'll just slap the name on them, which is probably, as I think it was Leon who said earlier, why they added in the asterisk mark now recently, right. Because it probably will end up being the Thunderbolts. No, by the end it'll be some other name, which I would not put it past Marvel to do that. They do these things. I mean, if you watched Midnight's Edge in the morning, Paulie Latino Slant, I think it was him or Andre who said that Brave New World, Captain America Great Reset sequel, basically is hardly even a Captain America movie. It's basically more so a sequel to The Incredible Hulk from 2008.
Yep. BD said the same thing.
Okay, so I'm like, we're having all these movies that are sequels to other things. And these movies, it's clear Sam Wilson can't have a story that stands on his own 2 feet. He has to survive out of everyone else's stories. And these characters, they don't know what to do with everything. So they have to, give them everyone else's story. Thunderbolts, they actually do have a story. It's not the most well-extended comic, but it did have its fans. It definitely had more fans than freaking Naomi at CW. But yeah, here we are dealing with this version of Thunderbolts in name only. It's so crazy why they go out of their way to change these things. And then they'll do things like, hey, let's make the Thing look exactly like he does in the Kirby run. So hold up. Do you have to change things, or do you have what it takes to make them comic accurate? Because you're showing that you have exactly what it takes, but then you go on and say you have to make changes. You need to pick which one you are, because 1 minute you can, and the next minute you can't.
Who's Captain Sawyer like next to her?
Oh, that's U.S. Agent played by White Russell. White Russell. I like him. Kurt Russell's son.
Okay.
They could have done a movie with him, Bucky, and that ghost chick, and that would have been like a spy thriller kind of.
I like Bucky. Bucky is cool. Like, bring more Bucky on. Like,
Bucky's gonna be cucked to all get out in this. I feel like
not from Bucky to Cucky.
It is bizarre because he is at the moment. He and Doctor Strange are their two biggest draws character-wise. So why is he? I mean, who else would it be?
I would say Doctor Strange could be if they actually gave us a Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah,
he did gain a lot of goodwill from what they showed you, an idea of what he could do in Infinity War, and put a lot on his character. I remember a lot of people were talking about his character after Infinity War. So that was a really smart way of branding the character and marketing and showing, hey, look, this is one of the characters who could put up a better fight against Thanos in case you didn't see his movie. But then they had to go and fuck it up with Doctor Strange and the Mom.
I never watched that one.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I mean, if I was listing my Avengers characters who I could maybe build something around, it's Benedict Cumberbatch and Winter Soldier.
Are you judging it from a sense of how you feel about the character, or how you feel the overall market consensus is? Because how I see it from overall market consensus, I don't think the Winter Soldier, as much as I hate admitting it, could really be a draw in current year Marvel. I'd like for that to be a case, but I feel like he honestly, if let's just say a Blade movie came out today and a Winter Soldier movie came out today, I truly believe Blade would blow it out the doors.
Well, I mean, I think a good Blade movie today might be the most profitable thing
with Wesley Snipes.
Marvel could.
Oh my
Marvel
God!
could
Yeah,
make,
come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also you brought up 2008 Hulk, or Josh did. So it's time that we all come together as a society and apologize to Edward Norton for the mass delusion we were all under in 2013 when we said that Mark Ruffalo was a better Bruce Banner and Incredible Hulk than
I never said that.
I did.
Ed, we were all wrong. We apologize. You did not deserve that.
Well, if you look at the way he acted in the 2012 Avengers and maybe even arguably 2015 Age of Ultron, and then watch how he became come Ragnarok, it was like he became a different character. You could probably make the same argument for Chris Hemsworth's Thor. Watch him in Thor and Thor: The Dark World, and then watch him in Ragnarok as well. So his son Thor was no longer Thor; he was Chris Hemsworth. And you could say what you want about Mark Ruffalo, and trust me, I'll join a lot of y'all. He is Psychomus Maximus. But as soon as Ragnarok hit, his character was no longer the Hulk. I will still say he was a lot better as the Hulk in the first two Avengers movies, especially the first movie.
I can only judge them based on their entire body of work. And there is no way that Edward Norton's Hulk is getting bodied like Mark Ruffalo's Hulk got by Thanos. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's not on the actor. That's also on how they write the character. So if you fuck up a character, then you fuck up a character.
I'm aware, just taking everything into consideration. Edward Norton was justified.
Edward Norton only had one movie versus Ruffalo several movies as well.
So all I can say is based on the total body of work put on the screen, Edward Norton's the winner here.
Yeah, but if you looked at high points, that to me goes to Ruffalo, and it goes to 2012 Avengers. What Ruffalo delivered both as Bruce Banner and Hulk,
the whole scene with the other guy, I almost shot. I tried to shoot myself, and the other guy spit it out. It was really well acted.
Yes,
stuff.
that was.
It really was.
You're right.
If you had to put that movie in isolation against the Incredible Hulk, I do personally feel they're evenly matched, and I did like them both. When you put those two movies side by side, I enjoyed them both. I didn't feel like one was better over the other. I enjoyed them both. But clearly, these writers decide they had a different plan for Bruce Banner's character come 2017, and then come 2018, all they did is make him the butt of the jokes. And no, he was not Professor Hulk from Peter David's run. That's a disrespect to Peter David, because his Hulk was actually intelligent.
Okay.
I feel bad. I tapped out at the second Marvel movies. Like Winter Soldier was the far that I got. I think I saw Iron Man 3. I just honestly don't remember.
I was really invested in it up until I'd say phase 1, 2, and 3, and then Soichi came out, and Black Widow happened. Retardinals came out, and then I did enjoy Spider-Man No Way Home. I did. I'll say it. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy Deadpool and Wolverine too, but I never saw Wakanda Forever.
Me neither.
I can't wait to not watch it. I'm doing a really good job at so far.
Look,
3 years later.
Hold on, Josh. Here we go.
Hold on. People give me shit about this because look, I understand the Spider-Man No Way Home was good. It was a fun experience. It's a shit movie. Technically, it's a shit movie. If you look at Wakanda Forever on a technical scale, it's a good movie. Here's why people don't like it. They don't like how they changed Namor. Fine, whatever. And they don't like that T'Challa wasn't there. If you get past that, there is so much good in that film. Good story, good acting, good writing, good directing, good action. It's the best action we've had in a Marvel movie since Infinity War. Yeah, I don't know. Just saying. And Roman's saying time to eject Josh. Listen, go watch. Hold on.
What is the buyout to eject Josh?
That's fine.
Josh doesn't get to leave. No.
Go watch the opening scene with the Talicons as they attack that Navy ship. It is some of the best, it's the best cold opening to a film that's been in the MCU, period.
Josh, I'm not going to go and see a movie that's openly racist against me. I'm sorry, I'm not going to pay to see that movie.
I was, they watched it when Namor wasn't a drag queen anymore. I miss drag queen Namor from the comic
Not
book.
more. Oh man,
That was funny.
What I'd like people to do is go subscribe to Nickweiser, our special guest.
Oh, thank you.
In the chat, and he's also description. And yes, go sub, hit the bell for his channel. I hope to be there maybe next week talking about Bill and Ted going on an adventure. And yeah.
I hope we go on an adventure in Vegas. I really want us to go on an adventure in Vegas. Seriously, we'll get pizza. We'll make memories so retarded that whatever we don't remember, we'll give to others to remember.
I'm ready.
Nickweiser, I'm already following you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. I was okay. What's going on? Yeah, well, I didn't see it. I might see it. Roman, you want to pay $10 to get rid of Josh? No, he's worth way more than that to me.
Yeah, I'm going to Vegas at the end of the month, and I'm like, I'm gonna go find Nadia so we can do our own reenactment of bun touching or execute.
Yeah, I get it. It's a weird thing, but Josh, it's good to have people on here like Josh who are he's like a lofty sometimes.
Mark my words. 20 years from now, when people revisit the MCU, people are gonna say Wakanda Forever is way better than they gave it credit for.
Can I
clip that shit?
Can I bet on this right now?
Okay, if you're right, then you're right. I have no skin in the game as far as I need this movie to be good or need it to be bad. If you're right, you're right. I hope someone saves this clip because I want to actually see this event. I was there when Josh said this would be looked back on. If you're right, I'll actually applaud you. I
promise you, I will be right.
Ooh, okay.
Is it because of Riri? Did she make that film for you?
No. I the
real
Riri
Iron Man
wasn't the worst part. The worst part was everything with Contessa, which is 2 scenes, 3 scenes. They should have just cut it out. I don't blame Ryan Coogler for that. He was forced to put it in there, which sorry, dude, sucks. But everything about that, the character arcs, the actual journey those characters go through, the reveal of when Shuri becomes Black Panther, who she sees in the afterworld and why. It's great storytelling. Point blank.
They lost me when they killed Eric Killmonger, which was legit the only interesting thing about this movie, the Black Panther series.
Yeah. What if we hate Shuri from the last time we were exposed to Shuri?
Why would you hate Shuri from Black Panther 1? She was a fun character.
Because she
yelled
at
fucking
Bilbo Baggins and called him a colonizer.
As a joke.
No, that was not a joke. That was not a joke.
Minute as a joke. She says it more than once, and she smiles and laughs every time she says it.
And then I had some women say some horrendous shit to me, then smile and laugh when they say it. I'm just throwing that out there.
If she legit, and this is what I hate. People watch it once, they look for the shit that they want to look for. They want to look for the stuff. And there's plenty of racist shit or anti-white shit you could pull from those films. But when he gets shot and he's going to die and she makes a choice to save him, that's how you know she doesn't actually think that way about him. And then when she trusts him to fly the ships and to help save their country, she doesn't really feel that way. It's the same thing. And listen, I'm not defending She-Hulk by any means. That was a shit show. But when people are like, oh, She-Hulk's beating the shit out of Hulk, I'm like, he is not trying. He's letting her hit him. And he's like, this is fucking wasting my time. So when all these nerd shills were losing their shit because She-Hulk was better than Hulk, You weren't watching the fucking movie. You were watching the baggage that you wanted to see. And this isn't just an MCU thing. If you go into any film looking for that, guess what you're going to find? You're going to find that. And then you're going to be like, God, this was so heavy. It wasn't. You were just looking for it. That's all.
I love that take, Josh.
Yeah.
She-Hulk
I love that
right
passion.
off the bat should have not been stronger than the Hulk.
She wasn't.
She is already besting. He said a word for it. Oh, yeah, you're already doing better than me.
The adjustment, but that's also they also found this is in the comics too. In the comics, she adjusted to being transformed better than him. They found
that
it was
transforming. Yes.
Yes.
But as far as how she handles her powers, no. I would know. I have the John Byrne stuff too. I also read the original Savage She-Hulk as well, Josh.
But time out. Hold on.
She's actually a fun character, not a condescending Contosaurus.
But no, agreed. I agree. I'm not talking about that. We're talking about her sheer ability to manage her power, her strength. Mm-hmm. And if you say that she didn't manage her strength better in the comics than Hulk did at the very beginning, that's also a lie.
Josh, I have a question. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You do realize that She-Hulk's a woman, right?
Yeah. Why? What did I say?
Just curious. Women don't do anything better than men. Come on now. Like, obviously.
No. I'm not saying she did it better. I'm just saying she didn't struggle. And part of this comes to they discuss it in comics. It comes to actually.
To be fair, I love the show. I didn't see the show. I'm actually not gonna.
The show's fucking awful. But it's like my whole thing is look. Let's take this from a Trump scenario, right? Trump's first 4 terms as president, people were complaining about all sorts of crazy shit. No, hold on. You had Democrats and psychos complaining about all sorts of crazy shit that didn't actually happen. It's like if you actually listen to what he said, that's not what he said, right? That's how people are responding to some of this shit.
Oh yeah, I don't disagree with that. That does happen. I actually agree with you, Josh. That does happen. They do look for ghosts at times. I don't disagree with that. The ghosts are definitely there. There is the I need a dragon to slay, and this is where I'm going to seek out. I don't disagree with that. That does happen. I feel like the dragons that were definitely needed of slaying was, for me, what She-Hulk was, the fact that she was all of a sudden better at the Hulk at every way that she was. Yes, she did have her green transformation. I'm with you there. She did have her green transformation. That is true.
But she wasn't better. Look, so he has her throw that boulder, and she throws it, and she gets cocky and arrogant because she threw it further than he just lobbed the first one. So what does he do as a response? He gets a bigger boulder, and he throws it into orbit. How is she better than him? She's not. But that's the narrative. The narrative is she's better. No, she just didn't struggle with the change like he did. But it's also because he's so tormented inside mentally. That's just Bruce Banner as a character.
Yes, that's true.
But I don't dislike She-Hulk in that scenario because she's stronger than Bruce. I dislike She-Hulk in that scenario because she's an awful person who is rubbing it in his face and being a complaining dickhole.
I just said, okay, time out. Did I say it's a shitty show? And did I say she's a shitty character? Did I not? Time out. Did I not say people were pissing on that show because of that moment saying she's stronger and better than him when he proves that's not the case? Therefore, their argument isn't valid for why they dislike the show. It goes exactly back to the Trump analogy I was making. There's plenty of shit to complain about. You're complaining about the wrong thing. Complain about the shit that's actually bad and actually happened.
Okay, but
keep going, Josh. I'm almost done.
My complaint here with Shuri is even if we say that she's not just a racist asshole, which I would argue the entirety of Wakanda as a nation disproves in general. She's still an annoying little bitch in that scene, in that she's just taking the piss out of this dude who's genuinely trying to figure things out.
Okay, we say that, but what do we do when we all come together? We all take the piss out of each other. What are you drinking?
It's water out of the
Josh, I actually want to know what you and I would do if we came together.
Like, God, I'm terrified. Like, we usually joke and shit on each other. That's what we do. So
you can leave the shitty to each other. I'll step aside.
No, I don't mean
Yeah,
literal
it's 2025. How are we arguing about She-Hulk? Come on, guys.
Well,
to be fair, half this panel looks like it's got German roots. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of like Wakanda for its like ethno-nationalist, like isolationist thing, and like low-key stuff that was racist, like that other guy, like that one other king that was like the Gorilla Kingdom or something. And I'm like,
yeah, M'Baku. Yeah,
he was
that
like,
Wakanda was an isolated nation that says, no, fuck you, we keep our resources. If anything, that's the most pro-MAGA message you could be.
Yeah, except Ryan Coogler did not design Wakanda in the movies as the idea of ethno-nationalism is good. He designed it as black people as Hogwarts, so they could do "We Was Kings."
No, that's the Society of Magical Negroes.
See, I love the first one because it was such a great thing. Because
the first one sucked.
The
high technology. The first Black Panther
no. Hear me out. You have the high technology of Wakanda and the fact that they could do this, and this is just coming after like whatever it was, Iron Man, where the aliens almost destroyed the Earth. So you're like, wait, you mean these Wakanda bitches could have like helped us out, and they don't? And then you have Eric Killmonger coming out and being like, you know, if you guys are so good, like, why did you abandon me? I was like living in a ghetto and this violence, and there's so many of other like your people, your black people living in America in bad conditions. It was a really interesting story, but then they just like turned it into, okay, they fight and he died.
The reason they're isolationists is because they've got to protect their secret chocolate recipe. You saw in the spinoff Willy Wakanda and the Chocolate Factory. Like,
Willy Wakanda. Oh my god.
We did it. Full racism.
I was gonna say, to be fair, black people from other nations also don't like black Americans. So,
I mean that's true, but it was like Eric Killmonger was like like T'Challa's cousin or something. Like he was of like Wakanda, and he's like, why did you abandon us? Like we were enslaved, we were all these things, and you just
Killmonger was wrong.
Yeah, but no. Killmonger being a little bitch because as we all know, slaves built this country.
I agree. Killmonger was a bitch. I like the actor who played it. I thought he put a good performance, but the whole he does have a point. Bullshit, he does. He was being a whiny, entitled brat. Just because you breathe oxygen and exist doesn't mean you're entitled to the same shit as everyone else.
He fought T'Challa though. He's gonna fight for it.
Which is another thing I absolutely love about
Wakanda. Like I just and not even because like the story was bad or anything, just the visual effects in Black Panther were so
not great.
Fucking
they were bad.
I could not suspend my disbelief. It was so ugly.
The third act fight where they're fighting each other in that super duper CG fest, dude. That was
with the train.
Yeah, trust me, me and my girlfriends back in the day were like screen
capping. Should I shoot one of my black friends a text to come on the show? So that
$55.
I'm saying, last time I was on a panel with all white people, we were talking about blacks and ended up starting fucking Speargate. So do I need to send Kata a message or something, Zach? Get him on here for bullet.
Yeah, get him in here. Why not? Bring in the Kangs.
We need
I don't know. I like Michael B. Jordan, and then Will made me watch The Wire, and that was weird watching that because he's so young, and I'm like, oh, this guy looks really hot later, but he's like, you're like 12, and then I'm like, ew. And it got so bad when they shot him. It was so sad. I'm like, what are you gonna do? All the kids are gonna go into foster care.
He's also in Friday Night Lights as he's the quarterback of East Dylan.
Yeah, and then he did Parenthood. Yeah.
I don't need to see young Michael B. Jordan. That's weird. It's just weird. I couldn't.
You don't have to touch him.
No, that's just weird. Like, it just.
So you're the opposite of AJ. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool.
She's the un-AJ.
The un-AJ. I don't know what hot take AJ's up to lately, but.
He's trying to get into the comedy world still, I think.
Oh, that's good.
He's doing well.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw the fake AJ like a couple of weekends ago.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he's like a nerdy black guy, and I was like trying to like just do the AJ thing, but he wasn't half as cool as AJ.
But not Left Eye Ego.
So I guess we were talking about a Thunderbolts trailer once upon
Oh yeah,
a
carry on, you guys. I just randomly dropped in here.
Before the Kung Flu took over the planet, we talked about a trailer.
Real quick, can we acknowledge that Smash Williams is way better than Vince?
Easily, and Tim Riggins is better than all of them.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're on the same team here. To be honest, I don't need to get through this stuff either. If you guys want to fight, that's way better.
Okay.
So do not worry about me needing to get through this. I don't.
Yeah, you. Why, you got someplace to be?
I love that guy.
Fucking joke.
So none of us comply? So what, we all just punch and shoot? I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
Neither can I. I'm with you there. I agree with her. This seriously, outside of Bucky Barnes, there is nothing I can see.
Is that Bucky? What the hell? What they do to my boy?
That's your boy
Yeah,
Bucky.
he looks like shit.
I know he was so hot in Winter Soldier. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, he's muffin top in here.
You could take out the stigma of Phase 4 and 5, that cryptic dead body stench, wipe it away clean, and you still got this like, wow, yeah, I really couldn't find a worse team either. I agree with the message. Holy crud, this is an awful.
It's like that, like the new Captain America trailer. And I like Harrison Ford, and it was in it. And Harrison Ford looks at him, he's like, "You're not Captain America," and I'm like, "Yeah, exactly." I'm not watching the shit.
Yeah, but that's I hate when movies do that too. When they acknowledge the obvious as if it makes it better, it doesn't make it better.
Lampshading.
That wasn't lampshading. Lampshading is what Josh said. That was, we don't like our audience, and we know our audience is saying this, so we're going to put the opinion of our audience in the mouth of the villain so that they can get beat up, and we can prove our audience is wrong and stupid.
That's fair.
Yeah, fair.
It's way worse than lampshading.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yep. It's meta. Yeah, that is correct. You're gonna. I want to get to this to show you a specific scene, Lady B. You're gonna love it.
Oh, okay. Stop! Where are you?
Everything's funny.
Everyone here has done bad things.
Except John Walker.
It's like they saw the Deadpool trailer use that Madonna song, like, oh, we can do it too.
Okay, so unless I can't remember, I don't know if it was Alex who said it, but John Walker hasn't done anything bad, and he didn't do anything wrong in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No,
he did what he had to do at that moment in time. You could maybe say it wasn't ideal, and that some of it's probably stuff Steve Rogers would not do. Okay, fine, great argument between there. But overall,
murdered people by the pallet load. Like
he used guns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once again, we could have a great discussion, all of that. But he overall did nothing wrong, is all I'm trying to get at. Why he's on this team is because, once again, it brings it back to my original point. They didn't know what to do with this character. It's been 4 years. You got to have him put in something. Because, like, well, we can't just have him sit here, because eventually he's going to be like, okay, fuck this, I'm out.
Well, they made Contessa, they made Val the Norman Osborn. Like, the way she approached John Walker in Falcon and the Winter Soldier was very much a, like, let me build my Dark Avengers type thing.
Yes, that's true.
God damn it, are we about to talk about Wakanda?
Huh?
Oh, God.
Nothing going on.
I didn't hear what you said, but
you said Dark Avengers. Said, God damn it, are we about to talk about Wakanda?
Oh, yeah. No, that was a good joke. Yeah. I don't know. They don't know what they're doing right now.
That was even better, Leon. That was good.
That was better.
That was better. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I know it's easy to do that. I don't like that's. I thought that maybe there's more to this stuff, but yeah, John Walker. To Nick's point, I think he was great. They accidentally made a good character in that series, and it was the one they wanted to have be the villain, but he did nothing wrong at any point at all. He killed the terrorist who just killed his buddy, who was still a terrorist and a superpowered one at that. And you should probably kill those. And the first scene of that series was Falcon zipping through the air, taking out helicopters full of people. And there was no like scene. Yeah, it was fun, but like we didn't cry about it after.
We called that a flyby.
Right, those people must be dead. Oh no, Marina's the Lord Dragon now.
We're supposed to enjoy the Falcon being badass and cool. If you watch that first thing, and then never watch anything after, you'll be fine. You're like, okay, that's a cool opening scene. And then the show does go completely downhill after that. It really is. It's just like, wow, everything else is shit after this. Everything really did turn out to shit after that.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, oh, wow, this is killer. This is the first 10 minutes. I can only imagine how the rest of the show is going to be. Man, that comment ate with milk.
No testosterone.
Oh, man, I was wrong.
Not only that, we have terrorists bombing places, and then having black cap. Yeah, oh, they're not terrorists. Come on, dude, fuck off,
bitch. Shut up. You're gonna make Gendercide real and legitimate. Fuck.
But Josh, you know people. So when that series was being made, what did you hear about that?
I mean, so look, we already know that there were some changes that had to get made, but I don't know if it would have made much of a difference. The Flag Smashers originally released a virus, and then they got cold feet because it was coming out in like 2020. So they had to go back and reshoot and change it. But the problems with the show would have been there regardless. I mean, you've got Anthony Mackie we talked about earlier, trying to get a loan, trying to preach to people. The head writer is 100% an activist. Like that's his life mission. So there was no escaping that narrative. And then you got the do better senator at the end. Like that's what he wanted to hit. And unfortunately, the stuff that is worthwhile telling that could have been a good story just kind of got sidelined as a B plot or C plot. So,
I mean, activist is underselling this. Ryan Coogler is a straight up racist. Like Ryan Coogler does not like white people. So
I would even say that the guy that wrote Falcon and Winter Soldier would qualify as a racist.
Ryan Coogler.
No, he didn't do Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I'm 90% sure that he did.
You're 90% wrong. Hold on.
You're talking about Falcon Winter Soldier versus.
I'm sorry, I'm Black Panther.
Yeah,
he did Black Panther. I thought he did.
No, he did Black
Soldier
Panther.
Too.
I'm talking about the guy that wrote Falcon and Winter Soldier, the head writer.
Hang on, I know it was inspired by Coogler's Black Panther. Maybe I thought he did.
Falcon and Winter Soldier had the only thing to do with Black Panther is they had the Wakandans come in. The only reason they had the Wakandans come in was because of the post-credit scene from Civil War when Bucky went to Wakanda to try to get treated for his like psychosis issues. And honestly, that led to the best scene in all of Falcon and the Winter Soldier when they had that flashback and he's with Oyo and she's doing the phrases and he breaks free from his Winter Soldier brainwashing.
You're right. I'm wrong. I misread that. But that was not the best.
Malcolm
Winter Soldier.
I'm talking about Malcolm Spellman. Yeah, that dude's a fuckwad.
Yeah.
Carry on. Sorry.
Oh, good. That's what we're here
Just
for.
thinking of the Marvel world is like with all the alien invasions and like all these techno wars and things, like what's there left to blow up?
I mean, if you're actual someone who has creativity and imagination, something these writers don't have, you could still do a lot. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, I totally think there's a lot of cool stuff there to do. You could write. There's a lot of.
But we have people who don't see the world outside of themselves. They think everything needs to be how they see things. A lot of people don't have that because we have writers that think you got to imagine yourself as the thing. And even in golden days, much better days, you can maybe make the argument that writers at least put a little bit of themselves into the story, but not to a point where the character became the writer. You still had a character first. But nowadays, they make the characters fully act like them, from their mannerisms to the dialogue that they spew. It's wholly different because there's a lot of people who have stories, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, and a lot of it's inspired, by life experiences. That's fine. You can do that and still make it true to, something from Marvel, DC, Star Wars, yada, yada. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. They just see these stories as it needs to reflect me. It's about me and how I feel.
Yeah, it's really like a mirror. It's like this is more and more I see it in writing and artistic works where it's like the work reflects like the author's own view of the world, and it's like keep thinking this sick. I'm like, damn, you have like daddy issues, or like, man, you're like really depressed, or like you're just having relationship problems, and it's like, God.
So actually, Nick,
yeah, for those who have daddy issues, be like the rest of us, have the good goddamn grace to keep that out of your stories.
Seriously, like we were watching like True Detective, and we made it all the way to season 3, and it's just always like we're just reflecting how every single season has like the same relationship between the husband and wife, and it's just like, shut up, please stop.
No, season 3 is great. Come on now, season 3. It's not as good as season 1, but season 3 is great.
Season 3 was good, but like if we could have gone out, like it always has a problem of by the time you get episode like 4 and 5, it's like a low point where they add in all the interpersonal drama that we totally could do without.
I'll be real. The relationship issues between cops and their wives is a very, very, very common thing. So it makes sense to be in the story.
Oh yeah, it totally is, but it always like it's exactly like the same thing that was carried on from each season almost. But we're not talking about that.
If we get lost in True Detective, we're never coming back.
Oh,
sorry,
I'm so
bad.
surprised, just like turning on season 2, and I'm like, damn, dude, that's Zach's.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks. I'll take it. I'll take it.
So I guess, Nick, I want to pose a question. Maybe Josh, you can kick in on this as well. Just to kind
Zach, I will never get this fucking trailer.
Sorry,
no, that's okay. No. I just want to
Um,
show her one scene. That's all.
Do you think that writers are now putting more of themselves into what they work on? Or do you think that writers are now just weirder and more retarded and more separated from their general audience?
Yes.
Hey, well,
yes.
They're
want
not,
best. Go ahead, Josh.
No, I was going to say they're not mutually exclusive. Two things can be true at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think both of those are true. You've got a lot of people now that have reached the age of adulthood that are entering the careers, and they've never fully experienced life. So they have this retarded outlook on the world and what they think is important or needed or whatever it might be. But yeah, like both things are true. They're projecting themselves, but they're also total like fucking retards.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said yes, Alex, because you look at, I'll give you an example of a comic writer. I brought him up before you're on the show. His name is Tom King. When you watch, okay, so you know who he is, but he's the best, most relevant example, because in your mind, you probably have a way of how you imagine how Batman sounds, how, whether it's a Kevin Conroy voice, and I'm not even just talking about the voice, but the way he speaks. And then look at how Tom King writes him in Batman. He doesn't talk like how Batman should talk like. He sounds like Tom King. And that's what they're
more like Tom Squire, am I right?
But yeah, he does do it. He makes the character become him, because you're thinking Batman doesn't talk like this. He doesn't act like this. He doesn't decide, oh, I'm gonna go just beat up was his Tim Drake all of a sudden. I'm not gonna have this freaking simfest all day long over Catwoman. Like, yeah, he's had romances before, but the way he does it with the mom issues that Tom King does, holy crap, it's on another level. So yeah, it is the craziness. And yes, he also makes the characters become, and that's not the only character he's done that to. He makes all his characters be obsessed with mental health and needing to be in therapy and all have suicidal thoughts.
Yeah, I was going to say
he does that with all of them.
Isn't he most infamous for Wonder Woman, or am I thinking of a different?
He's currently writing
right now,
it. I don't read it, but I know I've watched Josh, our buddy Wes. I watch his videos. Wes can go suffer for me on that one. I'll watch his videos. Awful. I ain't go read that shit. I actually like my life. So,
so are we turning off the Thunderbolts trailer then, or are we gonna rip through it?
Don't worry, I didn't go anywhere.
All right, sorry, Zach. I'll stop. I'll stop postponing this.
This is what the show is. I don't need to get through this trailer. I've watched it. It's not good.
You can't escape the past. Hey, it's like your mind is somewhere else.
So you can do something about it now?
Fuck off.
So that's the scene, like Lady B. That's your boy.
The metal arm from the dishwasher.
I know, that's so like low T.
Something about it.
Now hold on.
Look at that muffin top,
a
man.
microwave in the right-hand corner. He clearly doesn't have a woman in the house. Do you think he knows not to put that arm in the microwave?
I don't know if it'll fit.
But it's
Wakanda's-
funny. Don't you get it? He's trying to be relatable. I use the dishwasher too. It's funny because it's his metal arm and it needs to be clean too going into battle.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
You don't get it. That's the worst argument. Oh, it's not that it's bad. You just don't get it.
It's not funny.
It's not funny.
Isn't Sebastian Stan?
Yeah,
the guy
what
that had
dude washing the
crippling
dishes?
Body image issues.
Look, Sebastian Stan has issues in general, man. Like I mean that in the nicest way. He's had interviews talking about sessions he's had with his therapist and some of the stuff he's like. The guy's got some problems he needs to work through. That's just and across the board.
He's always been one of those guys that I'm like, why aren't you more successful? Like you check every box, but it's just because he's nuts. Then,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that helps.
So, did they CG out his like triceps? Because he really he couldn't look worse.
Yeah. Do we know? I mean, was this him coming off of the Trump movie?
Maybe.
Probably. The timelines would match up.
Wasn't this movie pushed back several times too? We have to keep that in mind as well.
Well, just because the movie was pushed back doesn't mean filming was pushed back.
But that's what I mean. Like the filming
pushed
could go back way. I don't know when did filming start. That's what I'm trying to get at. When did it start? Did he shoot the Trump movie like out in between? Because sometimes actors, if they can make the schedule work, it's not like a new thing where they film 2 movies at once and one a day, one a night. Obviously, that's an exhaustive schedule, but it's been done. So I don't know. But yeah, he definitely does not look so great here. He definitely looks like he really enjoyed 2 May nights with Charlie Sheen, and he gained all the weight for them both. So
yeah, he filmed Thunderbolts
It's hard
from
to gain weight
February
when
to,
you made.
yeah, February to June 2024. I don't know when he filmed the Trump film.
There's a Trump film.
Yes, it's called The Apprentice.
Oh shit! You thought you were going to be some great saviors?
Why is that woman orange? Like she has the worst fake tan.
Which one?
Yelena.
Florence Poe or is that?
Florence Pugh, yeah.
So people have talked about this clip, this scene, and they try to pump it up like it's supposed to be special because you see this super powerful character, Winter Soldier, being stopped by someone else who must be like, this is out of anime is what I've heard it described as, which I don't know how that works, but maybe where he gets his hand caught by this. I'm assuming this is Sentry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
probably.
This is Sentry.
Yeah.
And I don't think
Sentry's a black woman in a wheelchair in the comics right now.
Oh,
Really?
yeah. Oh God, yeah. The comic. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know which of those statements confuses me more because the Thunderbolts fighting Sentry is an even worse mismatch than like the Suicide Squad fighting Superman. Like,
thank you.
What is this supposed to?
I think the concept here, and this is once again, this is assuming that there's brains behind this, which there's not, but in the ideal scenario, the whole idea is these are people who are rejects, and you want to put them in a situation where they have nothing to lose, so they're going to do absolutely whatever it takes possible. Because unlike, let's just say, a team like the Avengers or some other team, they have a code. There's things that they won't do. There's lines they won't cross. Right. It's kind of like what the concept of the Suicide Squad when they had the squad go up against Star. It's it sounds ridiculous, but if you actually think about it, it works more than you think because once again, you have characters like Bloodsport and Polka Dot Man who are going to definitely like go above and beyond to make sure if they fuck this mission up, it's their lives. And maybe there's something that makes sure they have to survive this mission. Otherwise, maybe they have some equivalent of them losing their heads or some Amanda Waller type of BS. And that's, once again, that's assuming that there's thought put into this. For all we know, it could be 100% the opposite, and we might be seeing some stupid. So I don't know.
What is the joke from the Bad Man? The that college humor skit where Batman and Superman are talking, and he says, "My biggest villain is Bane. You could literally cut him in half with your eyeballs. You could beat him with one hand, and with the other hand, just be jerking it. Like that's what this matchup is. Sentry could walk through the fucking Thunderbolts, like on his way to Subway to get a sandwich. Like I
and then he'll turn into the Void when they get his order wrong.
Josh? Am I out of my mind here? This seems insane.
No, you're not out of your mind. You're not out of your mind. Once again, I'm just trying to look at it from a best case scenario, even though it's not going to be the best case at all. I know I'm prejudging. It will probably end up being, this character will probably, who could easily destroy them all, but the movie needs to happen, so he's not going to kill them all.
Yeah, right. He just won't kill them. Not that he can't.
Okay, so Sentry just drank a gallon of retard juice.
It's like Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader, but no buildup.
Fair enough.
Well, I
can't. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say one person's getting killed for sure, and I now welcome that. I will like this. Yeah, I will like if you brutally murder Taskmaster. I will give this film some positive credit.
The 7-minute Taskmaster murder scene seemed a little excessive, but I didn't think the nails were necessary.
Can't even save yourself.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
Except
Lena,
John Walker.
When I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
Okay, that was really good.
We are the Thunderbolts.
Can't call ourselves that. God, thank you.
Jokes. They got jokes.
Oh, is that what you call that? Yeah, these bitches need to hire AJ.
The people that wrote this are the people that were behind Beef and Hacks and
really?
Gosh, I can't.
Beef?
Yeah, Beef on Netflix.
Beef was good.
No, I agree. But I think if you bring people like that in to try to write Marvel or what they think Marvel is, what it's become, this is kind of what you get, unfortunately.
Yeah, Steve.
Joss Whedon needs to be.
Oh my God, Beef was that show that Lofty said to watch, and that was the last time I ever listened to Lofty.
I liked Beef.
It was so weird.
Stop Asian hate. That's all.
Let's pretend that Beef was good for the sake of conversation. And I think this is the problem with when the Russos succeeded. They thought, oh, hey, look, these guys who came from a comedy background, they made great Marvel movies. So if they could do it, literally anyone can do it too. And that's what they've been doing since.
So you have two top billed writers, and one of them is Joanna Callow, who was a writer for Beef, but she also is a writer for The Bear, BoJack Horseman, and Hacks. Like that kind of, I feel like, tells you some things.
Yeah.
Remember when BoJack Horseman was funny for all of one season? Pepper's remembers.
No.
This movie, I remember because Josh, way back, you were kind of talking about this positively before we saw any of this stuff. When it was an idea, Thunderbolts, you thought this could be good.
Yeah, so it was very clear that they were setting up for Thunderbolts when they brought Hurt back. William.
Julie Louis
No, way before that. All the way back in was it Civil War? Infinity War, when they brought William Hurt back as Thunderbolt Ross.
Civil War.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It became very clear at that point that, they were toying with the idea of doing the Thunderbolts. But at that point, my mindset and what I was thinking the Thunderbolts was going to be is what the Thunderbolts actually is in the comics. You were going to have Thunderbolt Ross. You were going to end up having Baron Zemo. They were going to pull this kind of like team together. That would have been far more interesting than this. Because even from Zach, you and I talked about this. even looking at this, nothing about this looks extremely cinematic at all. Like if you look at the
TV.
color palettes, it's grays and browns. Everything's
It's so
shot from a
boring.
very standard. Yeah, it's a very standard framing. The cinematography is not great. Even when you see the lineups of the heroes, and look, this may have been intentional because they keep going with the "we're not heroes."
Fuck.
But it's still not interesting. You just have a bunch of doofuses standing there. And even when you break down just like their fighting styles, you basically have 3 not Captain America. So 3 people that aren't as strong as Cap.
Yep.
Serving a Captain America type role. And then you have Black Widow, which is another martial artist. The only character that might bring some interesting visual action to this is Ghost. That's at least on the team. Because she can kind of teleport and stuff. But other than that, it looks just bland.
Even if you take out the MCU-ness of it all, none of the jokes land. There's not a character you're like, oh, I look forward to seeing this character in action. If you take out the MCU preconceived notions, there's nothing about this that like jumps out at you to get excited for. I would actually say, and I can't believe I'm saying it, but I think the first trailer was actually a much better trailer than this one. I feel like, and I didn't even hate the first trailer. I thought it was okay. I thought, okay, it was a Marvel movie trailer. Okay, that was where I started and stopped. I watched this trailer, and I'm not one of those people who always says the news trailer is the worst thing ever. To me, this actually was absolutely awful. I don't say those terms loosely. Like, to me,
really, because hot take, I think Fantastic Four looks worse than this trailer wise. I really do.
Oh, I absolutely reject that statement.
The comic guys are going to jump you for that. But
you feel like I'm not a fucking comic guy.
I agree, Sin.
The guys that are still in the game, if you will, it sounds like. But the my question for Nick was, you said if you take the MCU-ness out of it and then ignored that none of the jokes are funny and all the characters suck, I'm curious what you meant by take the MCU-ness out of it, because for me, MCU-ness is equivalent to it's not funny and the characters suck.
Knowing who the characters are, where they come from, the continuity, that out.
Okay.
If you look at the jokes in their own isolation versus judging the jokes on their own merits versus, oh, hey, another movie from the MCU loaded with jokes. That's what I mean, because you can always look at things a little differently when you take off certain lenses and see it a little bit differently. And even when you try to look at it just as a regular movie, nothing about it looks entertaining.
Yeah, like I was going to ask you guys, what is the conflict here? Who are they fighting?
The Sentry character. He's like this crazed, demented Superman archetype of villain.
Yeah.
So basically, if you've already seen Homelander, you've already seen Omni-Man, you're getting a more demented version of that character, and he is race swapped. They gave him the tokenization of Sentry now, and no, he doesn't probably lose like that. They did. I'm just trying to say that they race swapped him. That's all.
It was going to be Stephen Yeun was supposed to be Sentry.
Yeah, they Asianized the character.
Funny enough,
even before that, and this is what pisses me off. They had originally offered the role to is it Alexander Ludwig from
Vikings and
yeah. So
he's Bjorn from Vikings.
Bjorn.
But okay, so this good question, Lady B. Who I think is a great question, because that's why I wanted to have these guys on, because like I've heard of Sentry. Void I didn't know anything about whatsoever until I heard Josh mention it on his show yesterday. And so I how can people know what the conflict even is by seeing this trailer?
I know. I was like, who are they fighting? What is going on other than, oh, look, it's just giant catastrophe. There's flying ships and like some fist fights and
jokes.
I don't know the lore.
Who are they fighting? Why?
This has makings of team that can raise to glory. Bring light from the darkness.
It's never a good sign when you have to give the names of the characters in the movie.
Yeah.
It's clear that they know that people are not aware of a lot of these characters are. This is the type of movie that you should be putting out in a setting where the market is strong for the MCU, but the market for the MCU right now is anything but. Because you got to make sure you have your house in order first. You got to have your A-list characters or what they perceive as their A-list characters being done right now. And they can't even get that done right. So how are they going to do with the characters who are in the F- category?
The gamer.
Yeah, well, I don't even think that's so much an issue as it is. Well, I mean, you kind of touched on it. The general audience hates you right now and wants you to die. Like,
and this is what you're putting out.
Yeah.
That's exactly the problem. This is once again the thing you put out when there's a strong market. Like, okay, we got this one, right. We can maybe we could pull out something a little weird, a little odder. Let's take some chances and do something like this. That's what you do. It's kind of like when comics does well. When your Supermans, your Spider-Mans are doing great, that's when you can take a chance on a Zatanna book. That's when you can take a chance on a Hawkman book. That's when you can put those other books out because you have a strong foundation from all your A and B list characters do well. You can't just say, "Oh, hey, well, you know, we're just gonna put this out," even though the market absolutely sucks. We're just gonna put it out, and they're gonna take even worse. And it's just going to once again further the whole notion that Deadpool and Wolverine was a fluke, and it always was. It always was. And I say as someone who really enjoyed it. For all its wonderful retardation, I have a great time with them. I rewatch it. I still have a great time. But that was a fluke.
But Steve, I want to say, so yes, these are supposed to be, we're supposed to believe these characters to be villains. Am I right? Like, are these guys not bad guys? Are they anti-heroes? What is the deal here?
Yelena's kind of in that gray area.
Yeah.
Bucky, well, we've already went over Bucky's situation. Taskmaster is always the villain. U.S. Agents, mostly a good guy. I mean, they're not like the Suicide Squad where they're the worst of the worst and they need to be brought together. They're not like these scum of the earth type of situation. They're just characters that they literally have nothing to do with them and they need to slap them on something. That's really what it is.
And the Joss humor works when he's writing it, and he doesn't do it fucking constantly. It's like you can take the piss out of someone occasionally after you've built them up, and it relieves tension. But there is no tension. You don't believe in any of these characters. They don't believe in themselves, and all they do is in this trailer is tear each other down, tear themselves down.
Yeah,
and then this is the big speech here by Red Guardian, who I fucking hate.
The heroes.
And then at the end, there's going to be, of course, a joke
with the little
joke. Ha ha.
I'm glad the trending closed down. It means I don't have to. The movie is doing it for me.
Alexi, have you slept?
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I'd like not to die today, so maybe somebody else should be driving.
Fuck.
Oh my god, that hurts. That really is actually awful. That is one of the worst MCU trailers I've ever seen ever. Of all the phases, that's one of the worst ones ever. That is in the bottom of the barrel.
I feel like if we asked AI to make a Marvel, maybe it would be better than that. Like,
just a polished turd. That's still shit, basically.
I am aware that we're already at 2 hours, and I really, really want to talk about Fantastic Four. And Nick, if you can stay a little bit longer to do that.
Sure. I'm here, man. I can stick around for a full show.
Nick, shut the fuck up. No one wants to hear. Goddamn.
Well, I know this is a team that's important to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Big fan.
I have not seen this one yet, so I'm
curious. I feel like it's so interesting because there's so many like.
Yo, Daphne, the fuck you mean Leon likes it? What the fuck was that supposed to mean? Like, no, I just said it was better than this trailer. Like, don't get me wrong, that Thunderbolt shit was ass. This is like swamp ass.
Negative. Don't listen to Leon.
Yeah, I reject a lot of that. And I still have my problems with this trailer too.
Agreed.
I thought this trailer was okay. The same way I thought the first Thunderbolts asterisk trailer was.
Yeah, well, you also think that what you guys have in Chicago is considered pizza, and it's not. So,
Well, yeah, we do.
Yes,
Wait,
I'm with you on that.
Are you gonna? No, are you gonna be one of the guys who calls it be a poser and call it deep dish? Or are you actually gonna get right and call it the tavern?
I
just
refer to
call
everything
it
as
like
pie.
gross.
I refer to everything as pie, and people don't know what I'm talking about when I say pie, so I have to force myself to say pizza.
Dude, Chicago's great pizza. Detroit has great pizza. Pizza doesn't come in one shape. It needs to
Costco
have
has
the
great
right
pizza.
ingredients: cheese, bread, and sauce. You can do whatever you want with the shape, but when it's got those 3 minimum ingredients, that's a damn pizza.
There's ratios.
Anyways, Fantastic Four trail. Otherwise, we'll have
Yeah.
endless debate on pizza. We can do that for another show. I'll be happy to debate that for another show.
Yes.
I want to pitch a Leon Nick show.
Oh, yeah, I'd love that.
Maybe a sin sandwich in the middle for some.
Ooh,
Yeah, definitely.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7 on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Pause.
I hate Pedro Pascal.
You're a fan of look, Nicky boy, my man. I love the Fantastic Four. I do. How the fuck you get Fantastic Four out of this? Literally nothing that just happened in the first 14 seconds of this trailer was Fantastic Four. It was Partridge Family at best. That was the most faggot ass fake Fantastic Four. I read the Marvel wiki
mute
page.
this tranny fucking retard above me. Mute them, please. Because the fact that you just said Partridge Family bullshit. The key word there is family. The whole point of the Fantastic Four is family.
They are a family team who goes on sci-fi adventure. So yes, the root is family.
A word of what he just said. He did not come up as fantastic. He didn't come up as a father. He came up as a real estate agent.
Okay, but you're judging off the first 10 seconds of the trailer. Hey, I had my problems with Pedro Pascal too, but let's get to those problems when we actually have our problems with Pascal. Right. That is not the fair segment to even that clown on.
What I will give this credit for right away, and I said this last night, is credit to Matt Shackman, the director, who gave this such a visual identity. It looks different than anything else we've seen in Marvel.
Yeah,
stylistically, it's got its own
good.
But
yeah,
right. But, okay,
I
I'm
like
not
how
saying
it
it does.
I like how it looks. I think it's good.
I don't hate the way
love
it
this
looks.
style.
I'm like, it's you know,
I love retro futures. One of my favorite series is Fallout. This just does not look good. And even if it is like, oh, it's got some visual identity.
Time out. This looks so reminiscent of what Jack Kirby would try to convey.
The Jetsons. I got a bit of a Jetsons vibe out of this. I got the Jetsons.
I thought that too.
No, I got that Jack Kirby. So I'm glad you brought up Jack Kirby because it looks like people that do not know Jack Kirby's work trying to emulate Jack Kirby. There's no soul to it. There's no passion to it. It still looks like corporate slop. It just happens to be like, oh, but the comic fans will love it if we can mask it enough. Like, no. I'm sorry, I cannot get behind
already
this.
not
I did see the Kirby inspiration if we were going to be so gracious to call it that.
I actually make here's the thing. I'm not going to say the movie does or does not have the Kirby crackle unless I actually watch it, but judging for what little we have in the trailer, I'm going to judge off of. Now, yes, Reed Richards does have a bit of a, hey, I have a schedule in my life. I'm busy working on my science, my work. I had to run on a schedule for family time, sci-fi time, hero time. That does make sense. Yes, obviously they're trying to do a period piece, bright colors, pastel. Okay, I'm good with that too. I actually love how it looks. Yes, to me, different doesn't automatically equate to good. I agree with Leon in the regard. But for me, I love how this looks. Now, obviously, could that end up being worse and we be being held back for something that looks visually worse when the movie comes out? Maybe, sure. Yeah. But judging off what we have right now, I like how the color looks. I love how the buildings look. I love how the brightness of the suits are. Now, there are things about the suits I don't like, but we'll get to that when we show the suits. But
good,
I
got some
I
things
love the color
I actually agree with you, sort of. 2 suits look good, 2 suits look like ass, but we'll get to that in a minute. And by the way, Dax, you asked how this is better or how I think Thunderbolts is better, because Thunderbolts looks like generic slop. This looks bad. Like Thunderbolts looks forgettable. This looks atrocious.
Ooh. Okay, let's watch a little bit more.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming? Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Oh, that annoys me right there.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
Can you pause it? I love how
voice
they
should
got
be
the
more
actually
gruff.
got the eyebrows and the shape of the build, the
gonna ask you
bulk
about
of the
that.
body of Ben Grimm, right? But for that one major improvement that they got right, they have no grovel to his voice, no New York sound to his voice.
Yeah,
It
no
just sounds like a
Jersey-
normal guy.
Looks-wise,
The sound doesn't
I
fit the
actually
body.
like. What was that? What was that, Lady B?
The sound of it doesn't fit the body. Like
It
you
doesn't.
Exactly.
something-
That is not Ben Grimm's voice.
he's
Ben
supposed
Grimm
to
is
sound
a
like
down
this.
in the dirt New Yorker. Not only that, and to be fair, I do like the way he looks here. I think they got him comic accurate in terms of the CGI.
Yeah, it does
That
look like
said,
that.
the CGI I still think doesn't actually look as good as the Michael
It
Chiklis
doesn't. It
practical
doesn't.
stuff from the
I'm
2004
with
film.
you. I'm with you, Leon.
But I like the eyebrows. I'm there with you on that. Nick.
I
I
love
do
that
like
they
the eyebrows.
got the bulk of him right. The CG though doesn't work. I don't like the white strips, like the sleeve outfit. I don't like that. I'm a true blue guy. I like the just straight blue outfits.
I
Yeah,
love
like
straight
the
white, too.
white
You heard
around
it.
like
These straight
the,
whites.
The
Straight
collar,
whites only.
okay.
My heart goes out to you.
And I do like that they have Herbie here. I do like Herbie. I'm a fan of
Agreed.
the Herbie character. And of course, it's good that they are at the Baxter building. That's the least that they should be doing, having Herbie there. I'm down with that. But right off the bat, the fact that we got this guy who doesn't suck a New Yorker at all. Come on. And I'm not going to fault the actor for that. It's once again, they could have done something to adjust his voice
You're
to
an
that.
actor. Put on a fucking accent. That's your job. Dance
No,
rock
but as
amongst
far
your
as the
fans.
grovel goes, you'd have to do effects to do that.
You mean the
that's
gravel?
literally
No, you
out of his
wouldn't.
control.
A talented voice actor should be able to make their voice deeper and more gravelly.
Most
My-
Americans are not
doesn't
good at
hit you.
sounding British. Most
My-
British are good at sounding American. So no, even good actors can't pull off everything.
Right, but he's not British. He's a New Yorker.
So then you have the wrong voice actor for this.
Yes.
The biggest issue here is, gentlemen and lady, I need you to look at this picture and tell me that this motherfucker does not look like he's right out of Robot Chicken.
Okay, what's the problem?
Maybe I don't know.
He
That's
looks like he's right out of Robot Chicken. What do you mean? What's the problem?
What's the problem? I just said it twice. What's the problem?
Isn't that like how he looks in the comics though? I kind of
The
like
thing, yeah.
remember
As
seeing
far
it,
as his
yeah.
face, yes, that is exactly how he looks. Obviously, not CG like, but that is the way like his head shape, the lips, and the eyebrows. That is exactly how Ben Grimm should look.
Hey, other little thing here. They
Yep.
actually are using a practical suit with CG enhancements for facial movements.
I'd like to see some more of the facial movements.
And that's fine, but it doesn't look good. You don't get points for practical effects that look shitty.
Yeah,
I don't think it looks
I
shitty,
actually
though.
thought it was CG. No, I think it looks CG to me, but you're telling me it's not. You said it's got CG enhancements. Was that?
I
John?
don't
Yeah,
think
like,
it looks
what's
shitty,
his
but
name?
it does still look faker than what we got in the 04 film.
I
and
agree.
I want look, if I'm watching a live action adaptation of a superhero film, the reason to make it live action is so that it can feel like real life. It's something you could experience in the real world. And they are objectively failing at this, even though I will give accolades to the design of it looking like it's out of the comics.
I think saying this looks faker than the 04 film is a bunch of bullshit. If you wanted to say fan-fortastic, sure, I would go with you there.
I never
Fan-forstic.
saw Fan Four Stick. I'm gonna be real. Like I straight up did not see Fan Four Stick.
But Michael Chiklis looked like you could very tell he had, prosthetics on his face. Like
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
And you know what, on his face, you know what? Fair enough. I'll give you that. But he was shirtless so much throughout the film, and like the way his body moved, he looked like a rock monster, like a real life rock monster.
Yeah, he looks like a rock monster later when he's running. Like
This is only one still, so
yeah.
Okay, let's go on because I'm kind of curious to see how this plays out.
now I got it. Okay.
Okay, is this guy good or what?
I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious. I just want to add a little bit of zip. Okay?
So So I want to say that he does. He's just Cousin Richie doing Cousin Richie, which is what it sounds like to me. But maybe they're going to add that later. And Sue Storm looks a bit like James Gunn's wife, and
hardcore. Yeah,
that's okay, I guess, if that's what they're going for.
T-5. Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world, right here. Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
You know, pause it real quick.
Go on.
How
Leon.
does he wear clothes if he catches
I'm
on
not
fire?
a straight blanket hater. I'm not a straight blanket hater. I'll give credit when credit's due. I like that they're doing the Ben Grimm in the trench coat. Again, that's very, very 1960s and 70s Fantastic Four. Now, to be fair, the 04 version did this as well, but still, again, there are aspects of this that I think work. They're just such little moments as opposed to a product, and a trailer is supposed to get us excited for the entire thing.
But it's
I
not
think
even a trailer. It's a fucking teaser, dude.
No, look at how. Okay, no. Look, I'm tired of this fucking debate. This is a trailer. Teasers used to be 30 goddamn seconds. This is almost 2 minutes. This isn't a teaser. This is a trailer. Teasers used to be 30 seconds.
Time out. Let's talk to the person who's actually worked in film and television for a second, okay? The point of a teaser is not to give away plot, but just show you examples of what the vision is, what the direction looks like, what the tone's going to be like, show you a glimpse of the cinematography. But you don't
And they didn't
give any of
accomplish that in a minute and
Time out,
37
dude,
seconds.
shut the fuck up while I finish. Just hold on. You're not supposed to give any plot away. You're not really giving any plot away here. You don't know what this story is about. A trailer is supposed to give you an idea of what the actual story is about. So this is, by definition, a teaser. It's what it is. It's what it does, and it does it relatively well.
No, it doesn't, because even if that's correct, even if I was to take your word at that, as the dude that worked in Hollywood, as if I haven't been in the movie myself, by the way, that being said, no, if you cannot accomplish what we used to be able to do in 30 fucking seconds back in the fucking 90s, in a minute and 37 seconds in this, you failed at your job.
I disagree with you.
That's totally fine. We're allowed to disagree.
All right, let me see and watch it, and I'll give you my opinion.
Because you also have worked in Hollywood, Lady B, and
Yes.
I went there for 2 weeks once. So. No, I didn't work at all.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
Like a family.
Yes, and so okay, it seems like the Fantastic Four are supposed to be a family first, sci-fi second, and maybe we'll get a family movie first. We'll see. It's hard to tell. I do like that we have Johnny Storm looking like Johnny Storm with blonde hair. Looks like he's gonna be hopefully a bit of a hothead. They do have a good. That's probably the best casting that they got here is Johnny Storm.
Really? You
shockingly.
think so? He looks like a twink.
Yeah, he looks like a
He looks
twink,
like
but I'm not saying that's the greatest. I'm saying it's best compared to everyone else.
Okay, you know what? Fair. Compared to everyone else, Ben Grimm excluded because I mean he's a CGI rock monster. Yeah, he looks the best. I mean that's still not great. Like
Yeah, I was just gonna say
I'm with
Big
that
Ship.
too, Leon. I am with you there. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was reading Big Ship's comment, and I'm like, yeah, it's like the amount of times they say family, they just straight up mean Vin Diesel saying family.
Who isn't part of the family now in the Fast and the Furious? I feel like everyone's part of the family
Everyone's
now.
It's bad when the Fast and the Furious is doing like freaking Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah,
you're right.
I actually like that commercial.
Well, that actually makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
that was a decent commercial.
Lady B, I agree that yes, they're driving that home. You have to keep in mind that we've had 3 Fantastic Four films that didn't fully capture family, and that's
Okay,
what
cool.
that
I know
is
none
what
of the lore
the
of this.
right. No, and that's what I'm saying. But this is almost kind of like them saying, like, "Hey, this is what we're going for." Whether or not the execution
Yeah.
ends up being that,
Are they
But
an actual family or just 4 people that were sort of went to space together?
You gotta understand they're like a good standard domestic family. You have Reed and Sue who are married, and then
okay.
you have Sue and Johnny who are brother and sister, and then you have Reed and Ben who are basically best friends who grew up together. And then you have Johnny and Ben, who are basically like two brothers equivalent who fight over the most pettiest of shit. So the family dynamic is very important to these characters. So you need to have those dynamics there. You need to see how they act, whether they're in a fight, how they actually are at home, at the back. This is one of those things where you do have to actually have them talking and be at home and see how they interact with each other. That is very, very important to these characters. The Fantastic Four property is one of the most essential properties to Marvel because it introduced a lot of the characters that we have in our movies and our shows. The Black Panther debuted in a Fantastic Four comic. The Silver Surfer debuted in a Fantastic Four comic. Galactus debuted. So many essential Marvel characters came from Fantastic Four comic books. The original Stan Lee, Jack Kirby run that spanned the very first 100 issues of this. This is one of the essential things. So it is the first family, and also for a lot of characters,
literally Spider-Man issue 1 is him meeting the Fantastic Four in the Baxter Building. Like,
the Chameleon was the villain in that issue.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know how. Like, I don't have a lot of comic book background, but I remember like reading like the original like X-Men, and for some reason I remember the Rock guy. I don't know if it was in there or if it was just included in the like comic book reprint or something like that. But yeah.
This is for you. Thank you for the super sticker. Hold on a second.
Don't you forget the price you just paid.
That is Ben and Johnny.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's Ben and Johnny. Watch the second season of the 90s animated series of the Fantastic Four. If you want a great idea of what the characters are like, watch the second season. It basically nails it. There's some episodes that they live straight from the original Lee Kirby run, up to including the covers, the titles of the issues, and in some cases, even the dialogue.
That's cool.
Nick and Josh, did either of you guys watch the Thing animated cartoon back in the day when it was just a thing? Thing ring, do your thing, and he was like a regular dude that would turn into the thing. Do you remember that?
I vaguely remember. I know what you're talking about.
I loved that cartoon growing up, bro.
All right, so one thing I want to bring up, I had an idea about this because they talk about the powers, and Reed Richards calls out everyone but himself, and we don't see him using this power in this teaser, and they're going to be very difficult to make look good. Do you think it's possible that he's not going to have them, or he won't have them until later in the film?
I think they're just saving it for the second trailer the same way they're saving female Silver Surfer for the second trailer.
No, the reason they're not doing it is because the CGI isn't fucking finished, and these people didn't learn from how to actually do stretchy powers in Netflix's One Piece.
Dude, even if they show off the stretchy powers in the second trailer, they'll still be working on it after. They will still be working on it after.
The stretchy powers are going to look like ass, and they don't want to.
No matter what, it's going to look like shit.
Yeah, I don't think there's a.
Disney has billions of dollars at their disposal, and I would guarantee you now they're not going to get his powers right. When again, a live action anime adaptation on fucking Netflix was able to show us it's possible. So I'm already super jaded after seeing One Piece and knowing it can be done. Because we can say what we want about the 2004 Fantastic film. I actually have always been a fucking staunch defender of that film. Second one, not so much, but even that one's got some stuff that I do really like about it.
Galactus is not a cloud.
Yeah. Don't get me started on Galactus bullshit. Just in general, there was actually a lot done right about the first couple Fantastic Four films. But this movie, like, we've seen what Disney and Marvel does with their CGI, with their over-reliance on it, with their the fact they effectively run CGI sweatshops that don't do a good job because nobody actually has any experience in the business, wants to work there because they're overworked and underpaid. And when you can watch One Piece on Netflix and it's phenomenal, and like this is effectively the exact same powers as the Reed Richards character, actually to an even more creative extent. I just have no faith in seeing Reed's powers visually. He's the one I'm the most worried about.
Rightfully so, man. With the way the CG is in current day MCU, I don't blame you. And Cinevere brought it up before I did, which I was going to get to. Yeah, these actors don't look young, and I don't say that as a disrespect, especially towards Vanessa Kirby. I like her, the Mission Impossible movies. But once again, as far as I'm aware, this is supposed to be a Reed and Sue who are supposed to become parents in this universe. And they do have kids. Franklin Richards, who's also a mutant, by the way, and Franklin and Valeria Richards. Franklin's a mutant. Valeria is also has a relationship, like a family dynamic with Victor Von Doom. And Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby, once again, no disrespect to Vanessa, all disrespect to Pedro. They look way too old to become parents. And no, I'm not going to accept adoption because of their ages. I'm just not. I'm not going to accept that angle. So they don't look the parts for that alone. And I say as someone who likes Vanessa Kirby, I do. I think she was great in the Mission Impossible movie, but this role is not for her, even though she looks better in the suit than most of the characters.
Hard disagree. If you watch her in The Crown, you can see how she could take this. So
your issue is Vanessa Kirby and not Joseph Quinn looking like an even more downy version of Justin Timberlake.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah. Joseph.
I'm gonna make everybody really mad at me for a minute here. Franklin Richards is the worst character in the history of Marvel, and he rapidly destroyed the X-Men as soon as he was created. And the Fantastic Four suck as a product. Just because they were the first.
It has nothing to do with them being first. It was the relationship that you connected
Let me finish. Just because they were the first, a whole bunch of other properties later on were able to learn from them what worked and what didn't work.
No.
So their place in history is solidified, but the powers and the people themselves are boring and don't really produce outstanding works unto themselves.
They did produce outstanding works, and they still do. You read those comics right now, they're wholesome, they're fun, they're adventurous, they're bold. Before everyone else wanted to get bold, they still have it done better than most others. I could still read those Fantastic Four issues.
So I'm going to be the fence sitter, because I actually think you're both correct in this instance. Fantastic Four are to be cheesy, kind of a Marvel in terms of they were the comics that effectively got the comics code to be torn down and taken away. That can't be understated. I think a lot now. Early Fantastic Four comics do kind of suck, but so do early Spider. A lot of these early comics,
they
don't suck in terms of they're unreadable. I like them, but like this is an era when writing was just, it was treated different because of how things were being done at the time. So they were bold by the standards of the mid 60s. But then you compare it to something like what we were getting in the 80s with the Dark Knight Returns, with Daredevil, Born Again. By those standards, they're not really bold. However, you wouldn't get what we got in the 80s if not for what the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, things like that were doing. So again, I really like the Fantastic Four, but I can see both of you guys' perspectives. Like I can see why Alex would think that, honestly. I can.
Like I could say, just looking from the outside, it does seem to have like the 60s thing where it's like it seems really pulpy and like kind of like cheesy in a way because they were trying to like figure out the genre, I guess. I could kind of see, again, both ways. Like,
guys,
but there's probably good stories
in the 60s.
I will read the Lee Kirby Fantastic Four on any day over The Watchmen or Dark Knight Returns. Full stop.
Dude, John Byrne's run too, though. John
Byrne's run's good too. I like the John Byrne run. Oh, it's really good.
And then if you want more of that modern kind of edginess, Hickman did his best to try to bring that. I'm not as on it as other people are, but he brought it in. And Leon, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about Fantastic Four ending comics code, because that is so far from the truth.
Yeah, no, it is not. No, that is not the truth at all. I mean, the whole reason Stan Lee was like I say, it didn't end the comics code, but it was the first steps in that, because Stan Lee was just I'm 100% not wrong. Stan Lee was going to give up writing because he was tired of having to write these romances and these westerns because they were boring. They had to bow and kowtow to the code. And basically, his wife said, "Ignore the comics code and just write what you want to write. And if it doesn't work out, quit." And he wrote the Fantastic Four. He did it ignoring the comics code, and it became the groundwork for why they got rid of it about 7 years later.
he was still in compliance with comics code. The first time that they broke free from the comics code was Spider-Man, and it was and the only reason then it wasn't even on purpose. It was a fucking accident because they were delayed, and it was either get approval.
But the point was he wrote the Fantastic Four without regarding the code.
They followed the rules of the comics code, dude. If anyone was like, fuck comics code, we're not doing this, it was fucking Vertigo.
I mean, you're not gonna hear me talk shit on Vertigo. I'm not gonna disagree with you there, but
Swamp Thing was the first with writers coming in with the series to be like, we're just not gonna do this. From the big two, Swamp Thing was the first series to come in and go, we're just not gonna do this, because they kept getting rejected. And the whole thing was they were paying them so little to begin with because DC didn't even have the rights. Like, the rights were gone. They were just getting like pennies from it, that they're like, well, it doesn't fucking matter. We might as well just go for it. So they went for it. Anyways, off topic.
Historically, technically what you're saying doesn't negate what I'm saying. Both can be true. Stan Lee was told he was saying, I'm going to quit doing this. His wife said, do what you want and ignore the code. And what he came up with was Fantastic Four. Now, whether there was compliance or not, that's still what happened. Both can be true.
If you comply with the comics code, then you're following comics code. You're making no sense.
But did he comply with it, or did he write what he wanted to write and it just didn't break the code? Because they're not the same.
Oh my god.
I swear it's like talking to a retard.
No, because if I'm driving, if the speed limit is 60 miles an hour and I'm driving 60 because that's what I want to drive, I'm not complying with the law. I'm driving 60 because that's what I want to drive. The compliance is...
Oh, no, Leon.
Yes, 100%. I'm not driving the speed that I'm driving to not break the law. I'm doing it because that's what I want to do. That's not me being compliant. That's me doing what I want to do. It so happens to coincide with what the law is.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Little Platoon, and I am speaking with Lofty Pixels.
What's up, Enzo? How about this? Let's watch the rest of the trailer.
Yeah, let's finish watching it.
Let's do that. You guys can fight. That's totally cool.
I'm glad Galactus is not a cloud.
Okay, Zach, go back. This has nothing to do with the comics. It's a filmmaking thing.
Okay.
When they're all standing on that on that pedestal.
Okay.
Even with the Forrest Whitaker eye.
Look at how terrible this is. Okay, the lighting. You've got these blue outfits that are blending into this giant fucking forest, so nothing is popping. You've got what's effectively an overhead studio light. There is nothing here. Like the set design, or not the set design, but the lighting on set does nothing to inspire that these are these pulp 60s heroes. Like this is visually fucking atrocious. This is the worst shot in the entire trailer.
I have no issue with this shot here. To me, I just see as okay, maybe they're getting ready for some talk show, and it's a split second in time of a shot. Maybe the lights are off and their lights could go on. I don't know.
Yeah, to me, it honestly looks like
I need more details to judge this particular shot. From what I see of what I do like it, I like the big 4 emblem in the background. That does stick out to me.
I don't dislike the big 4 emblem. I dislike how it's completely making the suits blend in and we get no detail.
I don't see a blend. Yeah. I don't see a blend. I see.
Dude, you're a YouTuber. You make thumbnails. You telling me that you would make a thumbnail that has this sort of blending?
This is, for me, no, but that doesn't mean that I
don't hate
it either.
Because it's not artistically sound. This is quite literally the antithesis of what you should do with color and lighting.
To back up Leon's point earlier, Nick, you mentioned something that I found to be a little caught me off guard. You said you liked how the colors popped, and how they were bright.
Yes,
and I as I watched this trailer, especially that first 14 seconds, because that's kind of what we spent the most time on.
Yeah,
I was not getting colors and brightness from this.
Okay, well, if you look at a lot of this movie, there is a lot of brightness. It's not like the bright of the world, but a lot of it looks like a very colorful, bright movie. Just a few seconds before, you could right there. There's a bright shot right there. Go through a lot of shots.
No, this is not bright. This is a shot with the brightness turned up. You can tell because everything is bright.
I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah.
But go back to a lot of the shots in this trailer. There's tons of bright shots. This movie is got a lot of them. Now, could I, in my personal opinion, make it even brighter? Well, hell yeah, of course. But do I enjoy that aspect of it? Yes, because this trailer has more of that than it does not. In fact, it has mostly of that than it doesn't. I could always do more. I'm the type of guy like it's kind of like cheese on pizza. You could always have more cheese. I'm happy with what I'm saying, but I could always want more.
Yeah. So Zach, I'm gonna ask you to, and I'm more than willing to admit if I'm wrong here. Can you just go through and pick 5 random clicks of on the time scale, and we can just kind of see, as a sampling, do we think these are bright shots?
I'm gonna throw some context in here
too much
because
homework.
we're getting so much of it, and we talked about this in the Thunderbolts trailer. We've gotten so much of the MCU where everything is gray and brown. Literally, everything is gray and brown.
Yep.
That here you're actually getting color. You're actually getting actual sets that aren't CGI backgrounds. They're not filming on the void. Like it's like they're actually trying to deliver a real film instead of this video game film.
Thank you, Josh. You understand what I'm trying to get at.
I like that there's actually like a coherent look to the film. There's like an art direction here that it's I like the futurist 60s. I think it's cool that they kind of mashed it up with like the realism. Like I did see some good shots with whoever that guy that was above the earth, the flame dude. Like that was a cool shot.
I thought it
honestly,
cool too,
if you guys are talking about, if I had to guess what was going on in that last scene that made everyone mad, it's like there was an overhead lighting. I think the most logical thing is there would be some kind of frontal
Look at all
lighting.
that over to the right.
It just didn't seem like it's like whatever was happening, it was gonna pan, or there's something else was gonna happen.
That's Eddie.
Is it that guy from the what?
Yeah,
No,
Stranger
the
Things.
True
Yeah,
Detective. Is it? No.
Yes.
That's Eddie from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
What? He looks like that weird.
How's someone look
gay guy
manlier
from
with
that-
fucking long hair? God damn.
Whoa, that's weird looking. That's weird.
It looks like
it's
you
a-
cast
it's
him
a
like
comic book
Draco
character.
Malfoy.
Fair.
I like this. I actually like the way he looks a lot in his Human Torch form.
I do too.
Yeah, the Human Torch, and I love seeing. I'm like, okay, cool.
Does
Hopefully
it-
he'll have his quotes. Apparently, they're supposed to all say their like Johnny and Ben are supposed to apparently say their quotes in the movie.
Yeah.
And
Flame on,
that should
clobbering
be a
time.
flame on and it's clobbering time. I'm gonna not like it's clobbering time if it doesn't sound like a New Yorker voice. Now, could they change that between now and later? Yeah, they should. That is not gonna work with a normal sounding voice.
So one thing I'll speak to, because we're talking, and this kind of goes back to that last shot at the end. Sorry, Matt Shackman, and I'm just going to put it out there because I appreciate this coming from a filmmaker. He talked about this film does take place in the 60s. And he talked, if you are familiar with the lore of the Fantastic Four, they are essentially celebrities. They are doing talk shows. I think the opening clip of this is them doing like the whole Camelot White House. You've got Jackie O showing them around. I think you're going to have them giving a tour of the Baxter building for some type of televised purpose. I do think at the end, I don't think that's like their lair or anything. I think they're on a talk show. And Matt Shackman has already talked about there were scenes that they filmed in this, that because it's in the 60s, he approached it and filmed it the same way they would have filmed in the 60s, using the same type of lighting, using the same type of setup. And I think that's nice. I think that's a nice.
I agree. I think that's outstanding that they did that because they did not have to do that, and shows you someone is putting actual effort into it and not just minimum effort, but way above minimum effort. So I appreciate that aspect here. I still hate saying it, but I look at Vanessa Kirby in these shots here. I don't see a young lady ready to give birth to a child.
Right.
I see a lady who could be in a Mission Impossible movie. Yeah, I can see that. A veteran lady who can fight. Sure,
maybe,
but not hey, a mom to be to Valyrian.
Is she pregnant there?
I don't. This is supposed to be a universe where she has these kids.
Okay,
and that's why I'm saying that. If it was just gonna be just Sue and Reed and no kids, they'd be like, okay, so they're starting off at a time where they're older, more veteran into their career. Okay, fine. Oh, hey, look at that bright shot. Thank you.
Publicity
Okay, that's one out of like the last 25. Like,
no, dude, we were looking at several shots and there's brightness. Doesn't mean you have to
I
encompass
know.
every
I'm with
single
Alex.
side,
It wasn't
up,
bright.
down,
It
left,
was
and right,
color,
center
but
of
color
it.
wasn't bright. Like when you look at that shot of Johnny in the spacesuit and all the brown walls behind him, yeah, you could tell the suit was blue. It was still muted. These colors are still muted. They are just not gray and brown like we got in that faggot ass Thunderbolts trailer.
I mean, they're in space. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
It's
they're supposed to
nighttime.
be sci-fi adventurers. So
yeah, I'm surprised. Like you guys are being positive about it, which is it's good to hear because like I didn't think you would be actually. So that's kind of refreshing. I'm not a fan of Fantastic Four
I
myself.
still want to punch Pedro Pascal on his freaking.
I hate him.
Yeah, fair.
Stand that guy with
casting.
much to get out.
Terrible casting.
Here's what I think is going to be the best case possible scenario for a pass hole. I think at the best case, I think he'll end up having a decent performance, but that decent performance will not be a decent Reed Richards performance. It'll be a decent Pedro pass hole performance.
He's fine as an
Yeah,
actor.
but they need to keep that faggot in supporting roles. There we go.
Yeah.
they just need to not cast him anymore.
They are obsessed with casting him. They can't help themselves. They
Dude,
really
no. Boo
love
said in the
casting
comments though,
this
the
guy.
fucking mustache. Like, shave. If you're gonna take
No
on this role,
shit.
shave your fucking mustache, dude.
Yo,
Reed
hold on.
Richards is clean shaven.
I can't believe I'm doing this, but I actually had to slightly defend Pedro in that mustache. And here's why. Not because it looks good, Reed. No, it looks awful. Just follow me here. He shaved his mustache for Wonder Woman 1984 when he was Maxwell Lord. If he was told by Marvel to shave it, I think he would have done it because he did it for Warner Bros. Most likely for lesser money.
No, I'm not getting on to him. Just in general, like the character shouldn't have a fucking mustache.
Yeah, he should. I do blame Marvel Studios for not being on him about it, is what I'm trying to get. They should have been like, hey, he doesn't need to say, or even have him grow like a beard, like a 5 o'clock shadow beard.
Yeah, he just actually had goatees before. If you want to give him the full goatee, go for it. Because Mr. Fantastic's had goatees, but
stash does not go with Reed. Go ahead.
He
Tom.
also has a mustache in Gladiator too. I don't think that was a common thing.
So in this teaser, he's got like a 5 o'clock shadow beard, and it looks so out of place because it looks modern and it doesn't look 60s.
You're right.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So basically, he should have been clean shaven then.
Yes.
Because if you look at him clean shaven, he doesn't, especially like they dyed his hair for his Maxwell Lord character. I actually did not recognize it was Pass Hole. Like I really did. I was like, oh shit, it is him. And then once you actually like take a look and look at his eyes, you're like, oh yeah, that's him. Once you actually look for more than 5 seconds. But I didn't recognize at first that was him in Wonder Woman 84.
What do you think we're looking
I
at
am
here?
so confused by that statement.
This is what say that again, Alex?
You didn't think Pedro Pascal was the terrible Donald Trump impersonation in Wonder Woman 1984?
I didn't recognize it was him at
as
first.
soon as I saw that guy, I was like, ew. That's Pedro Pascal playing Trump. Gross.
Yeah, I guess he just recognized it quicker than I did. I didn't. I guess he just recognized it quicker.
Guinevere, to answer your question, Elseworld's a DC thing, but this is an alternate universe to the main MCU. Yes.
Yes. This
Is this Galactus showing up? Is that what this is?
It's either Galactus A or B. This is this stupid incursion thing, which means with the term incursion, it was when there was these universes are colliding with each other, and that's what's going to probably lead to this Secret Wars story that they're borrowing from the 2015 version written by Jonathan Hickman.
Are they going with the fucking 2015 Secret Wars and not the original? God fucking damn it.
Yes, they are 100%. And the worst part about it is, even the better parts from that story, like Reed and Doom, you had years of story to build up to that moment. This has none of that build up. This has none of that. So we're going to get straight to that possible fight, assuming that they're even faithful to it, with none of the emotion involved. Reed and Doom head to head.
Wars, and it's this right here, baby. This right here. This is the one Secret Wars.
Show us, Leon.
I have a feeling the movie will be self-contained until the end of the movie. That's my guess.
Boobs.
Show boobs. Show Bob's.
Show Bob.
Oh, hey.
No, there we go. No, there we go. Yeah.
All right. So overall, Nick.
Overall, I thought the show was okay. I'm not exactly excited or ecstatic about it. Passhole, that stash looks awful. His performance will not be a Reed Richards performance. I do like how the thing looks as far as like the shape of the body. I do like that. It looks like a Pierce Bright movie that looks like it may be hinting at what could become the Kirby Crackle. Hopefully that happens. Maybe Galactus doesn't look like a cloud. It looks like he'll be a giant form, ever growing, which is what Galactus should be, the Eater of Worlds. I'm not
real quick, Nick, do you think Galactus in the one shot we get of him in this is too small? Because that's another gripe I have. But however, he can grow. Maybe he'll be bigger at other points of the film. But
he grows up and down. A B. It's one second, one shot. That's not going to really define the character. So we're going to need a lot more. But the shape of the head, that's exactly how it's supposed to be. So
that's what she said.
I'm looking forward to seeing here, right? Obviously, we got Herbie in there. We got Red Ghost in there, which I like seeing. Looks like it's supposed to be a family dynamic. I'm cool with that. I do where my biggest concern, and this is even worse than Pedro Pascal, is I think my biggest concern is that Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm is going to lead this team. She was narrating, and it seemed like she was leading the team. And Reed Richards is supposed to be the smartest character in the Marvel Universe. He's one of them, if not the smart. Maybe you can make an argument that Victor Von Doom or Black Bolt or Prince T'Challa.
I would say Namor, Black Bolt, any member of the Illuminati can give him a run for his money.
But overall, to me, it's Reed Richards. And I look at Passhole and nothing comes off as intelligent. And then you got Sue Storm, and it looks like she's going to be in charge of this team. I am not for that at all. But, however, to be fair, if she's going to lead the team, you may as well have it be Passhole playing the character, because I'd rather have it be a shit bitch like Passhole playing the character than for it to be someone good to take a dicking from Vanessa Kirby. So at least they're already like settling for scraps with Passhole.
I'm having so many images.
Now, canonically, would that be like? Did she ever lead the team?
No.
It's always Reed. Reed is the breadwinner. He's the father. He's the leader. Reed. Now, to be fair, you need the whole family, but Reed is the leader. He is the Leonardo of the Fantastic Four.
The only time Reed's leadership comes into question is when Namor tries to make moves on Sue Storm, because Namor's so alpha that he's not fazed by the fact that Reed Richards could stretch his dong. Namor still
actually, Nick, didn't recent comics, because I've been reading comics for a while, didn't recent comics actually have Namor fucking cuck Reed?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I heard, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that did happen.
Fantastic Four run I read was the Hickman that was just called F4.
Yeah.
And I was under the impression that there were several runs where Reed got turned into kind of a bad guy, a la Cyclops, and Sue kind of took over.
You mean the Maker in the Ultimate Universe?
You
might be thinking of the Maker in the Ultimate Universe. He had that big, he has that weird helmet thing on his head, kind of gives like a Cyclops one eye type of thing. You could be mistaken for the Maker.
Okay, I'm purely talking based on Twitter comments and screenshots, but I did think that Reed has been getting shit on recently.
Well, but before we get to Daredevil, final thing, I have a question. I have a question for Nick and Josh, as the other Fantastic Four fans here.
Yeah,
I'm of the opinion they're doing Galactus. Don't get me wrong, I love Galactus. I want to see a screen accurate Galactus. I'm glad we got from him. That little shot in the trailer. But I think they're going too big too soon. I actually think first villain probably should have been someone smaller scale, like Mole Man.
Puppet Master should be.
Oh, Puppet Master is good too. Again, I have a soft spot for Mole Man, but yeah, Puppet Master would be good too.
You could give Ben Grimm a relationship right off the bat that he needs to work for. And also, it's a perfect character to go against heroes who are unexperienced, because they're learning with a guy who can literally control them via some voodoo. That would have been my villain. Would have been Puppet Master, then Mole Man, and then bring in Galactus. and then you can hint at Doctor Doom, and then have Doctor Doom appear in like a big Marvel event style movie, because that's to me how it should be done. But I don't make the rules.
Yeah, I don't think Galactus is going to be your main villain. I think he's going to show up, and I think the reason he's in this trailer, yeah, I think the reason he's in this trailer is because the team that pulled this trailer, unlike the team that pulled the Thunderbolts trailer, the team that pulled this teaser together understands marketing, because they gave you so much to see and try to digest within less than a minute and a half, versus that 2-minute plus trailer of Thunderbolts where you're like, okay, so I don't know fucking anything. We have people I don't care about. Yeah.
Okay.
What the hell?
So I have a request for the guys who are going to bat for this. Pitch me on what this is going to do better than 2005, because I don't think it looks better. I don't think the cast is better. I don't think it's going to be written better. What are we scaling up here that is going to make this better than a movie that's old enough to drink?
This is the new surfer.
Well, that's assuming that I would like the 2005 movie. Now, for me personally, how I feel about the 05 movie, I think it's just I do like Ben Grimm in the movie. I do like, even though his shape is all kind of weird, I do like Ben Grimm. I don't like Dr. Doom at all in the movie. I think Dr. Doom is utilized awfully, not because of Julian McMahon, but the way they made his character, I thought that was awful. And it seemed like
I would say the same thing to Daxnar in the chat, that I think Julian McMahon actually would play a fantastic Dr. Doom, but they fucked up the writing of the character.
Yes,
I think he did the best with what he had,
and that's that could be fair to. He had to work with what he's given. The movie seemed like it wanted to have the seriousness of what was going on with the X-Men movies, but also trying to dial in on the humor of what was to come with the MCU movie. So it is a bit totally all over the place for me. So I don't feel like that's a bit of a high bar. So maybe Leon would. I don't know if Josh likes the movie. Maybe he can answer. It'll be better, because to me, I don't really like the 05 movie much. So I don't feel like I could have a fair argument there.
Yeah,
okay, but pause for me real quick, because you didn't actually tell me anything that you think is going to be better here. You just gave me a bunch of
because okay. Well, to me, what's going to be better is we're going to have an accurate Galactus, accurate looking thing. I actually think we'll have a family dynamic, and I actually feel like we'll finally have a movie that will focus more on the brightness of the Fantastic Four, and not this. We got to be a little bit of seriousness here and a little bit of brightness here. I feel like we'll actually have some characters act like the characters, not including Reed. So those are some of the things I think are going to be better. But once again, I don't think it's going to get everything right still.
Okay, and that's totally fair.
Yeah.
I think you will actually get a better script with this than you got with the 05 or the sequel, personally.
What do you think of the 05 movie, Josh? Do you like it or not?
I like some of the camaraderie between Johnny and Ben, and that's about it. Other than that, I think it's average at best.
And I agree with you. I think it is average at best. But I look at this, and I think the 05 movie looks better from a CGI perspective than this.
Okay.
So here's the thing too.
I'm with Josh in that regard, though. Like, as somebody who likes the 05 film, I can still objectively acknowledge it is average at best. I like the camaraderie behind the whole team. I think that Jessica Alba kind of got shafted. I think that Julian McMahon could have been a great Dr. Doom. We don't get a good Dr. Doom. The movie spends a large chunk of time with them sort of learning their powers, and they don't really become a family until the end. I don't mind that, because it is an origin story. And then when you get the second one, albeit the second one's a shitty movie, you had that family dynamic throughout the entirety of it. So it ends up working as a through line for both films. But it's still, it's no X-Men, it's no Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Like it's like generic to the max. But I do still really like it, because I think the casting is great in the original. I love the casting of everybody in of the main four, that is, in the 05 Fantastic Four. So I'm not sold on this cast at all. This new one, that is.
I think
part
the
of
cast,
Fantastic Four, Jessica Alba.
Oh yeah,
facts.
I don't know.
I think the
Daxnar
cast
in the chat brings up one of my favorite bits in all of cinema.
Man, Dark Angel, what a fucking show.
Yeah. Dark Angel's
I like Dark Angel. I'm a fan. Josh, you are what would you categorize yourself as for looking forward to Fantastic Four?
No, I'm looking forward to it. I think what we got from a teaser is a lot of positive, and if anything, for me, it feels like it's one of the. It looks like they're getting the characters correct, and for me, that's a big thing. Just aside from Pedro Pascal not embodying Reed, but I'm in disagreement with Nick. I think Vanessa Kirby is actually going to do a really good job.
Hey, I hope you're right. I want her to do
Me
good.
too.
I see
Can I ask you a question about that, Josh?
Sold on her, and I hate to say it because her last name's Kirby. I should want to be sold on her. I should want to be sold on her.
I think Vanessa. I think she could do a good Sue Storm. I don't think it's a question of her acting talent. I think that they're going to fuck her up in the writing by making her the leader, and I think that is the problem, not necessarily her casting wise or looks wise or anything.
So they've said that.
Thank you for hanging out.
They've said that Reed is the lead, and Pedro's first build here, and I think he's actually the second build actor for Secret Wars. So that makes
second build for Secret Wars after Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man.
Correct.
I assume, or I mean, it's Dr. Doom. I mean,
yeah. So that makes me think that he's going to be the lead. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Look, they've said shit before and been lying out their ass because they're a bunch of cucks. But
that's true.
Man,
it's still going to make less money than Superman and Jurassic World. I mean, I think we all got to come to grips with that. This is going to, of the three big films coming out in July, this, Superman, and Jurassic World, this one's going to make the least money.
Alex, what were you trying to say?
I was just thinking, man, if I was going to hitch my wagon to a $500 million wagon to a person, it wouldn't be the three-legged horse that is Pedro Pascal. Jesus.
Wait, what's the third leg? Do you know something I don't know?
The three-legged horse. But I did think as I was saying that I was going to say the three-legged Pedro Pascal, and I was like, nope, I gotta add the word horse in there, otherwise it's not going to. You jumped me anyway, though, so yeah. I should have just let it fly.
We can't get to Daredevil. It's 3 hours, guys. We're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, all of you. Let's go around and talk about what we're doing. Leon Idol, you stud. Where you gonna be the rest of the week? You're gonna be everywhere all the time. First of all, everyone should be in the description for their channels, at least their YouTube channels. So make sure you sub, and thank you, Jamalama, for hanging out all night and doing links. I very much appreciate that. And go on. Sorry, Leon.
No, you're good. You're right. Everything everywhere all at once. I'm like a straight white Michelle Yeoh. The straight part people might question. Tomorrow, pretty stat night. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So I got the dualies. We're gonna be on Hold My DualShock, and then after that, we're gonna be on Gucci Show doing the Kaiju number 8 review. I think that might be my last review. Last stream of the night. Friday is Badger Den and Neon Leon. And Neon Leon, our guest is Mike Hollow. Mike Hollow is awesome. Love the dude to death. Doesn't really run in the same circles as us, so it's going to be a very interesting sort of show. Saturday, Niat with Galaxy Quest review, then Saturday Night Hypnosis. And then I don't know about Circle of Jerks or not, but anytime you want me, let me know. Sunday, Gucci Show, and Monday for Countercast with the Yarn Witch. It's gonna be a good next several days, and check out the videos I've been posting the last few days because dude, yeah, we've just been straight torching like quote unquote what religious zealots. Fuck them faggots.
Attaboy, Leon. Thank you for hanging out with me all night. Appreciate you.
Love to do it.
And so Alex is White Cloaks, so I'll drop that here right now in the chat. But because Jamma was asking, so Joshy.
Yes.
Good show last night. What's up for you for the rest of the week?
For the rest of the week, I think I'm doing Max's stream Friday night, so I should be on Max's channel Friday night for comic book conversations. Saturday, I might be on Wes's channel. I'm just waiting to hear back from him. Sunday, Monday, I'm going to take it easy. Tuesday, we're going to be back with another episode of Culture Popped, and I will go see Blackton America for you. So you don't have to. And, yeah, that's right.
Thank you for that, you hero.
You're welcome.
Taking
I will
one
go
for
see
the
that.
team.
That's right. That's what I do. But I'll go see that so you don't have to, and then we're gonna discuss that. And yeah, I think for the rest of the month we've got our next episode of the Comic Book Club is going to be Batman Year One by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli. So looking forward to talking about that because it's a great book. That's actually my favorite series of videos we're doing right now. It's nice to talk about good shit.
Isn't
it?
Yeah. So good stuff.
And it does exist. It does exist. So go sub to Josh, Pop by Culture. So do it right now. Just go subscribe to him, and then you can come back after. Go do it now. Like,
come on,
do it now.
Just do it. I'll kill you.
Nickweiser,
Hi.
thank you so much. You really made the show come together. I'm so glad you came on. I know you're passionate about comics and Fantastic Four, especially, and your connection to Klobby, and I know how important that is to him and to you. And so having you here was super important to me. So thank you for coming on. Nick, what's going on with you?
Well, first off, thanks for having me. It was great to be here again. It's been a long time, so let's not make this take as long this time. That's why you're coming back on Toxic Tuesday soon, so we don't take as long. So remember, we'll talk in the next few days on which Bill and Ted you want. It's yours. All right. Cool. As far as my channel, let's see here. Well, talking Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure next week on Toxic Tuesday. Klobby's Comic Shop Friday night. I did a video yesterday called Dear Metalheads, the mainstream will never validate you. You should absolutely watch it.
Yeah.
So go watch that after the show and realize and understand and embrace not being accepted by people who only pretend to accept you at best. And I'll have another video up by the weekend's end. So yeah, that's what's going on my way. But yeah, it was great to be here. Great to have engagements, agreements, disagreements on the stuff. It's always fun and it never gets old. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
I do like the contentious conversations. I think it's good. You got to challenge each other a little bit. And always in it's as long as the direction of at least coming to an understanding. You can always disagree, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, when you put a bunch of nerds together talking about have some like fallout. The tisms are coming out way too strong.
The tisms do leak out. I'm also going to drop Cinevere's link in the chat because she was hanging out all night with us, and her video is actually up there too above. It's that's her latest video from today. I think it was released. So go check her out. She's just getting going on YouTube. She's going to be way bigger than me, probably very soon. And
dude, like statistically, she's growing real fast. Like, she went from 26 subscribers at the end of December to now 170 at the like middle part of February. She be growing, dude. As long as she stays on it. Like, I'm really proud of that bitch.
Yeah, she's cool. Like, I get like messed up watching her on. We watched Circle of Jerks. And we're watching it on the big TV, and like the avatar, like the tits are so big, it looks like the knees of the character. It's like it cracks me up. You guys are great. She's awesome people. Yeah, the jiggles.
And then somebody was saying, like, I think it was Boosh was asking, like, are those like people are looking at those boobs like as closely as possible? Like, are they wet? I think it was what Boosh was asking. It was great.
It's great. Yeah.
If it wasn't you, Boosh, too bad. White Cloaks, Alex.
Jesus. I have.
We've made videos.
I've got 3 videos that I'm hoping to get out between now and probably next Wednesday. Wheel of Time videos, and then Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 7 came out on Tuesday, so probably gonna have to do a Book 6 and Book 7 stream with Steve and Tex-Mex and
that's fun. We love
all
that.
the boys there.
Okay, Dungeon Crawl. Yeah, right. You guys talked about that one. It's better than Brandon Sanderson.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, but I think the Thunderbolts may be better than Brandon Sanderson. So
it's high tea.
Lady B, what's going on with you? And hey, Keisha.
You know what? All the stuff I've been doing has been IRL stuff. Like where I just launched a big project at the greenhouse where I volunteer at. We're going to do plant ID. So I had to come up with a system for like figuring out that. And so I have like minions under me doing that. And we just started that. And then I am on Saturday, I'm going to be teaching in person like a class about succulents and about seed saving. And I have a friend that does that too, and she's kind of known for her crazy outfits. So I wanted to make a dress. So I've been like,
hold on,
making a succulent dress. Yeah,
nice.
I wish I could see it more, but I kind of had to turn the lights off here. But it's cool, and I'm almost done. I just got to do the zipper, but I really like sewing, and I wish there was some way I could make videos about it that were like kind of interesting to watch, or like live stream while I do it. But I'll probably just start talking, and people would like not. I get distracted in makeup.
Also, you should. I think you should do videos about some of the crazy like contraptions you've built, like in your room when you're growing hydroponics like underneath your bed or something like that.
Yeah. You should see wild. It now, dude. Plant Empire. It's pretty cool. Like it's the winter is awful, and I don't know. I gotta do some like different things. I've been thinking about it.
That went a different direction than I thought it was going to go. Like you said, crazy contraptions in your room. I was like, Alex, do share.
Oh, I know, right? I had a bunk bed. I used to like tie things up, and there was a ladder.
Used to ladder, okay.
Yeah, when I lived in California, you guys should have seen like the like you know how I had that like curtain on the back, and everyone like it's a shower curtain, and I'm like, yeah, it is, and they're like Christmas ornaments, whatever, but that was all rigged up on my bunk bed, so it's like I didn't have a lot of room or anything. Now here it's like I don't really have anything to stick it up, and I'm using my light pole, like the pole for my like sweatshop light. You guys can see my giant like sewing machine. It's pretty fun.
I had a girl, and good job, Alex. Got her in the sewing machine, and had a boy.
Yeah, that's actually my mom's hand-me-down, and I'm kind of like trying to decide if I like it as a garment stitching machine. It's a pretty hardcore quilting machine, but they're kind of finicky, so.
Okay. 24 people links ready to go. Well, thanks, Gemma. Appreciate you, Gemma, for helping out with the right stuff. It helps, like it really helps everybody else, so appreciate that. I'm going to, I'll be back Saturday, Circle of Jerks. I think Friday... No, I won't be on Friday with Nadia, but go check out her Stranger Things show. Normally I'm on that, but going to a comedy show on Friday night it's on Valentine's Day. I don't know if you could say it's for Valentine's Day, but I'll pretend it is.
Is it a female that you're going to see?
Yes. No.
Then it's not a comedy show.
No.
Okay.
With the female. You can't.
Can be a he, she.
There may be a female there, but I think that maybe a waitress. That's okay.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
That's right. Bring me my sandwich.
Not telling jokes. No, definitely not.
Thank God.
Yeah, no.
Women aren't funny. We all know this.
Unless you're Moxie. She's like the only funny female.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. And Lady B's funny. Moxie's funny. And like she has cleavage. That also helps. Like cleavage does help. I think I'm going to send us over to see Julie B deep dives after this.
Nice.
But please leave a comment, sub to these people. Thanks everyone for hanging out all night. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for the super chat, the membership. You guys rule. Woo, we did it. And thank you. I'm going to play us out with our traditional good night music. So everyone, please respect the trans people. Good night.
Respect to the trans community. And fuck you, transphobes.
Trans people are my friends. Transphobes gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them for we're going in. Trans people are my friends. Transphobes gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them for we're going in. Transphobes, show your fucking mouth. I'll knock you out. I'll knock you out. Transphobes, show your fucking mouth. I'll knock you out. You better watch out. Trans people are my friends. Trans Transphobes gonna catch these hands.